Hey everyone, episode 192 with the low-hanging fruit, John and Andy and myself, went through a bit. We talked about microdosing foods with additives, the algorithm on social media, basically just degenerating into a pile of crap you don't want to deal with, the cigarette wars that are currently going on in Australia. What else? Genghis Khan, got the new Assassin's Creed game, and bit on Snow White and all that sort of stuff. And we finished off with some more terrible reviews that have been left. Do us a favour, like, share, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Hit a like button, smash that like button, obliterate that like button. Please let us know what you think in the comments on our socials and on YouTube. I will be going away in about a week, so don't know when the next episode is going to come, but yeah, till then, enjoy.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Let's rock.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
What is it with walking?
Leave a message, baby. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes.
Wait for the moon and the
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. Will you shut up, man?
Weird.
I'm Chris.
Just sat down. He hasn't said anything. I had to say hi to him, and he's just coming in, taking his shirt off. I'm expecting him to take his pants off.
Actually,
Fuck off. No, you're not doing that. But,
I haven't showered in a few days. So
yeah, but you haven't said anything. You've just put the headphones on.
I didn't want to interrupt.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for the L and the R.
It's yeah. That's
The R is always the right... It's the cable.
Always.
Yes. What are you doing?
until that one time.
Until that one time, yeah.
What, some degenerate backwards company?
You go to America and it's the other way around. They counter-clockwise.
That's just an invoice, man. It's a utilities
You want me
bill.
to take that for?
If you want to pay it, you can. I was driving here looking at my...
Rip off.
I got a message. I got a phone call from...
This is September to December. That was last year.
Yeah, I left it...
Nah, it's done. This is finished.
Oh, so because I haven't paid it, if I haven't paid it in 6 months, it's void.
In the bin. There's got to be a time period on these things.
You're such a dickhead. I got a call today. I was driving here, and I was looking at my bank account. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of zeros here.
That can't end well.
It's in red.
Where's the one?
Yeah, there's no positive numbers. And I'm like, okay, I get paid, Wednesday. All right, I'll swing this paycheck. I've got some money coming in for a job, la, la, la. And then I got an invoice that came straight in for Body Corporate that's due in like a month. I'm like, well, I don't have that. And then while I'm looking at that email, the phone started ringing, and it was an 03 number and then started with like 40 something something. I'm like, well, that's not a mobile number. Like, what the hell is it? I thought maybe it was a spam number. So I've answered it. It's like, hello, Demetrios. You've reached Nabs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, it's got an Aussie accent, and he said my name, so maybe it is legit. I'll press 1. Yep. And then it's like, the payment of $500 was not sufficient to cover the blah, 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 like the mortgage or blah. I'm like, great. It's like, your outstanding balance is like 1,800. I'm like,
Scam.
Wow, they actually...
This is a scam.
I didn't wait for the rest of it. I just hung up. There could have been like, if you'd like,
blocked.
yeah, it's like it could have been if you'd like an extension, press 3 to speak.
They wouldn't call you. They'd send you a letter.
Well, they do all that. But
It
I don't
depends
check-
if you had. Yeah, it
I
depends
don't
on
check my mail.
if everything else hasn't worked. The
Yeah,
last
yeah.
result will be
No, they send a letter, but I don't check my mailbox, man.
I'm thinking of Hans Malman. So this stuff really works, huh?
Certainly
But
does.
the two guys behind him, they rock up at your door. No, it's actually the ones, with Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah.
We're attorneys from the estate of
When
with the
he's
dancing
doing
potato with the spoons.
Yeah, we represent the love of Charlie Chaplin and yeah.
Boys,
Yeah.
put 'em out.
And what does he say? He goes,
I
"This is a
can't
blatant."
we'd like to buy you out, isn't it?
No.
that's
That's
different.
that's
That's
the
when
Hans Malman one.
That's when Homer starts the internet computer
Oh,
king.
right,
That's
yeah,
that one, that's
yeah,
one,
yeah.
Because you need it on computers now.
And they bend the spoons and they just squish the potato and they just walk up. Do the ties.
You're fucked. I was going to say thank you for the intent. Okay, we'll ask him. Maybe he'll know. So John bought me a Dare Intense Espresso.
Crash.
Like, share, follow, subscribe.
See you next week.
What's your question?
Trash. I didn't even get the word out. Well, why is it trash other than the high sugar count?
Well, I mean, to say no more.
Oh my god. Trash.
What's wrong? Ah! My fault it's got sprinkles.
You have to have a donut with your coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, how am I going to enjoy it?
He didn't offer me a donut.
All right, give it to me. I will see.
He's about to have a heart attack.
I offer you. Okay, what do you want?
Okay, it's just sugar. It's sugar and milk. That's it.
Fresh milk, sugar, coffee
Fresh.
powder, 1.2%.
Fresh milk with an expiry of like 7 weeks.
John, half.
No, I'm good. Thanks, John. Half a donut. You already bit into it as well.
All right.
It's not like you cut it and offered me half. You bit into it in the middle of it. So any which way,
It's all right.
I have to get you a bite mark.
We've shared more than a donut then. That's okay.
No, but it's just like the ultimate sign of generosity there. It's like, you could be a dignitary for like
That is literally a Larry David scene.
Yeah.
He's like, you bit into it. Yeah.
Well, I gave you half the donut. What do you want from me? I only meant to offer half. He could be a dignitary in like Hungarian parliament. They bring over some Japanese diplomats. They got some wheel of cheese. John literally takes a bite out of it. Would you like some, General Son? Like, what do you mean? It's got teeth marks in it. Yeah, so why is this trash? The sugar level?
Sugar. It's got artificial flavors, which you don't know what that is.
Well, it could be anything.
And it's got artificial colors, which is caramel coloring, which is, they say, is linked quite closely to intestinal cancers and problems.
Really?
Caramel, yeah, you got to stay away from caramel colorings.
So then what caramel can you have?
You can't. Caramel sugar.
You can't.
But it's burnt sugar.
You can't. So what caramel can you have? Well, you can't.
It's a 0 out of 100.
Bullshit. Oh, the healthy rating.
Additives are artificial chemical synthesis product and ammonia caramel. Yeah, caramel is high risk.
Okay, so here's the question.
Why is it high risk?
You've just said that this is literally 0 health factor out of 100, right? And it literally will cause
Actually, it
cancer.
tells you what the additives are, and it gives
So-
you a little blurb on them.
So here's the question. How come this doesn't have a label on it like a cigarette packet?
Because the health food industry is not as heavily regulated as the tobacco industry.
But more people eat food than they consume cigarettes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you look at the big cigarette players and you look at the food industry, and they're two very different types of
Because
people and
cigarettes
industries.
are like a 95% chance you're going to get something from it.
Yeah.
With food, it's not 100% guarantee because then it's
Well, they
it's
also
over a
know-
slower period.
They also know what they're putting in cigarettes, whereas these little micro doses of what they put in there, they don't really need to do studies on them. They don't need to figure out, well, this is long-term effects or not. They don't have to. If it's below a certain amount, they say...
because it's only a micro dose.
Exactly, yeah. If it's below... I can't remember what the number is, but if it's below a certain number, you don't have
Yeah,
to...
but you could ship anything with like psychedelic hallucinogens in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then someone's going to die, and then the government will come after you. Like, oi, what are you doing?
Sorry, guys, we'll just have to recall those and change the ingredient list.
We remember how that American chick that tried to sell that garlic, that pink sauce. Remember we talked about
Yeah,
it?
the pink sauce. Yeah.
Oh, the pink sauce.
She
I remember
didn't
you
get
saying
it.
something.
Like it wasn't even hadn't even gone past the FDA, whatever. So everything you sell, like even that's why, like when you go to these markets, that have all the like homemade sauces and stuff like that. It was
Farmers
like
markets.
farmers markets. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Like half that stuff, you're just assuming that all that is all above board.
People know what they're doing.
Bullshit. Most of it's cooked up in someone's garden.
That's
or,
what I
or
mean.
garage.
You're just assuming, like, say you buy, because a lot of them will have, like, pre-made sauces and that, and it's all, like, professionally done and this.
Listen.
Some of them might have, gone through, testing and
No,
average quantities, but then you see some
No.
that, like,
No.
just make it a whole big not pita.
Do you know what you need in order to
Paella
get something paella? Stop calling it paella.
There's an L in there.
It's 2 L's. It's Spanish.
And I'm English.
So what?
Is
You speak a Romance language. Surely you can cross over to Spanish for just half a second.
Jalapeno?
No.
Jalapeno?
No.
Jalapeno?
It's paella. You know that. You know it's paella. Like pollo.
Tortilla?
Tortilla.
A tortilla.
I love how our native languages are Greek. His is Italian, which is more closely related to Spanish, but he's adamant that he won't pronounce the word
I
correctly.
refuse to.
I'm on like the fence. I'm okay with either because I choose to understand that it's an English version of the word. You're not trying to be Spanish. You're not trying to be Greek. You're not trying to be. So if I want to say feta instead of feta, I'm going to say feta.
Yeah, that's why I refuse to say. I flat out say Ibiza. I refuse to say it the other way.
Oh, Ibiza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Beetha.
I refuse to say it.
But it's a Beetha. You know what it is. Admit it. What the hell?
What he say?
Good for you.
We're gonna come to blows. I'll be standing over him, just punching him. Beetha.
Lady and everything's like,
This is the hill you die on, yeah?
like you won't believe.
Over the pronunciation of Ibiza. Fuck off, man. All right?
I refuse to.
But it's not you refuse, it's how you pronounce the word.
In that language. There's anglicised versions of every word.
Tortilla.
That is so annoying. That is so annoying, man. You have no idea. You have no idea how annoying that is.
Eat a dick.
Eat a dick. Again, for the people that don't know, there's a bag of lolly dicks in the centre of this table.
It's
We'll put it on the Instagram.
Suspiciously empty.
Yeah,
It looks like it. One of them looked like it's missing some colour on the top of it.
you're an idiot.
There's certain countries that in their language they're not the what their names are in what we call them in English.
Jesus.
I mean, Jesus, yeah.
I was talking countries.
But context, yeah. If I meet someone who's okay, perfect. When I was in Madrid 2 years ago, I met a bloke in a bar whose name was Jesus. I didn't call him Jesus. I called him Jesus.
Next thing you know, he stubs his toe. Jesus Christ, yes. Listen, I didn't say Jesus.
Dude, literally.
I'd be flat out calling Jesus.
Well, I asked the bloke his name. He was sitting next to me. And his name's Jesus. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're in Spain. That's pretty common, yeah? But it's like, imagine like a full bogan. Jesus Christ.
What's your name? Jesus.
Every time you call him, hey, Jesus.
He do the cross.
Ham it up every time, of course.
If I worked with a bloke named Jesus, I'd probably call him Jesus just to annoy him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not a guy you've met on the street.
Sure. He'd have a laugh.
And there's a wonder why John wouldn't make it in the corporate world. You know what I mean? It's like,
I have no time for these games.
Jonathan, yeah, this is Jesus Dominguez. He's the corporate buyer for, I don't know.
Hey, JD!
Jesus, right. He'd have a tie with a spinny on it. Anyway, what I was trying to get at was I know a few people in production, right? This guy's still alive. Both of them are gone. How many minutes? 11 minutes. All right, that's a new record.
I need you to go get column BC for me. What? Before Jesus?
You're fucked. I know people in manufacture and production of food products, yeah? And do you know how relatively easy it is to get something on the shelf with no screening whatsoever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All you need is a list of ingredients. You need where it was made, basically, and the volume of the product and a barcode, typically, so they can put it on like a retail shelf or something like that. Yeah, that's it.
I've told you, I've got a cousin who used to work in the coffee industry, and they had to, like your beans that you sell to your cafes, and they just like they had to ship it out a specific bean or whatever. They had to package it. I'm like, oh, is this stuff? It's got to be kosher. I was like, this stuff kosher? Yes, it's kosher. Fingerprints. Get it out there.
No pigs here.
Yeah.
It's halal. Yeah. We had the imam in before. Just blessing
Like
it.
he was still innocent. It was like his first month of working.
That's all vegan.
It's like, oh yeah, it's kosher. Oh yeah.
The imam in question was just some Afghani called Bilal who came to the factory having a dart. Hey, what do you reckon? Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, that's it. Done. No, seriously. It's actually surprisingly easy to, as long as there's a contact number, the supposed ingredients. But if you get sued, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're stuffed. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Move on to the next.
Anyway, it still stands to reason, though. If this is that bad for you at 0 health rating, how can they still have it on the shelf with no
Well, it's a reputable brand.
Yeah, but you
brings
look
in
at
a lot
this,
of money.
But there's nothing on here that warns you about anything.
No.
But that's what I mean. You got micro.
Well, because you're going to do it over years and years of.
Yeah, but there's nothing here that says it.
Because they don't have to.
This is what we're going to ask you. All it says here on the front is intense espresso, robusta, and arabica coffee. Intensity level 4. What does that mean to you?
Doesn't mean a lot.
Was it bitter?
No, it's all right.
Level 4. I mean, out of what? 5?
I'm assuming 4 because there's only 4 coffee beans there.
It's a 2.5 star.
I mean, what did it say? 1.2% on the back? Coffee extract?
I don't know. Hang on.
I think it was 1.2.
Oh, yeah, 1.2% coffee powder.
Coffee powder.
What's coffee powder?
Ground.
How much caffeine's in coffee powder? Anything, or is it just flavour?
It should say how much caffeine's there.
Just this caffeine.
Just
Probably. Or
Yeah, like
that.
a frozen
instant coffee or
freeze-frozen, flash frozen, whatever
Okay,
they call
so
it.
yeah, 500 mils of this product has 3.3 times the caffeine that's in a 250 ml cup of instant coffee. What's 250 mils? Is that mug?
No, that's not a mug. That's less than a mug. That would be like 300, 350.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So less than that, but 3.3 times the amount. So
Yeah.
How do you grade
So
that?
what's that?
How can that be an intensity grade? 4 coffee beans. On what grade?
flavour.
So is this going to do anything?
Probably not.
I don't understand what they're trying to say. If they're trying to say it's just flavour, then they're saying it would be the taste of 2 shots.
You know what this just reminds me of? This just in. Power sauce bars are amazing. That's it. That's your news break. Yeah, right, mate. Back to work.
I'm going to get some.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know.
But that's what they they cater to the quick, easy, fast, cheap. No, like people don't care. They don't look. They don't care.
This is going to go straight through me, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
The count is on.
Anything that starts with a D, diarrhea domino, diarrhea dare.
You
gotta link them together.
What do you mean?
What?
Anything that starts with a D
It
is
links.
diarrhea.
Yeah, well, that's my
So
experience.
Domino's and dare.
100%.
What else starts with D, dickhead?
Doritos? Have you had a bag of Doritos?
Yeah.
I've shat blood.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Over Doritos?
Oh, yeah.
That's irritable bowel syndrome, dude. That's,
Well, caused by the Doritos.
no, that's just you being gluten intolerant or something.
Well, yeah, probably.
Have you never gone to check that out?
I haven't, but I can't eat gluten. I figured that out myself.
You are digging your own grave. You're such a dickhead.
Do you know I've started? Do you know I've started?
You've started strong, man.
I've done a sourdough starter at home.
A what?
Yeah, a sourdough starter. Like you make your own sourdough.
And
Why?
then it keeps going for years.
Because I can't eat bread. It's been a problem for years. I can't
So
eat
you're
bread.
gluten intolerant?
Probably. I've never
Well,
checked.
does it- for someone that...
Maybe he just needs fibre.
Hang on. Haven't heard that word in a while, man. He was chewed. It's not the time.
You look at his leg. He's just been scratching the whole time.
24th of March, 3:39 in the year of the Lord. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
The first mention of fibre for 25. For someone that literally inspects every orifice and crevice of your body, you've never thought to go do a gluten check.
No, I've just come to the conclusion.
There's no conclusions
Well,
until
I
it's
eat bread.
conclusive.
I die from cramps.
Until a doctor can give a conclusive.
Doctors are idiots.
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you what.
Every other week, Doc, you gotta help me. You know what I mean?
I need a blood test. I'll go see a doctor.
Well, Andrew, I think you should. Shut up!
I think you need to stay away from bread. I'm sorry.
What?
We're gonna have a problem.
This is what I'm paying you for?
It's bulk built.
Again, Larry David.
Yeah.
What kind of advice is this? All right, go.
What was the question?
Why haven't you gone and get a conclusive diagnosis
Oh,
about
just
your
come
cramps?
to the conclusion. I feel like there's no other. It's like your sleep apnea. We knew what it was the whole time.
It's
You
not sleep
refused
apnea.
to go and get it checked.
You're in
and then,
denial, Tim.
and then we figured out that it was sleep apnea. You just know some things. I eat bread and I cramp.
I'm getting
You know,
tested.
it's
You know, like when
Why
they say,
did I agree to do this today? You know what it is? It's because we're early and you've both got too much pep in your step.
I woke up very early today.
really? I got up by like 10.
Oh, I woke up at 9.
I woke up at 6.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw you the other day. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to finish work, and I see WhatsApp get like some kind of shit meme something come through, like a link, and I'm like, what is he doing at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Sending memes.
Do you send them at 4? I have the
other day
I have
you
the
did.
courty to save them for later, and then when I get up,
Oh no,
send them.
I'll just drop him. But he dropped 4 o'clock, and I was like, fucking
When?
hell.
When?
Yeah, maybe last week.
Okay, well, this is when I go to send one. It's because I've woken up to get like water or something, right?
Why you just
It's like, let's have a quick.
Yeah, and I've looked at my phone.
just a quickie?
No, I've looked at the phone to see what time it is.
Yeah.
Right. If it's an hour, like before I got to get up, I'm like, yeah,
4 a.m.
yeah. And if someone sent me something through the night that I've seen, and I go to send it to you clowns, my first thought is, okay, what time is it? 4. This guy's probably working, burning the midnight oil. This guy's probably in his second Ren fucking cycle.
New paint.
They're really like, yeah. But I know his phone's on silent or switched off.
It's off.
Yeah, it's
Hard off.
Oh, you turned it off.
Dude,
Hard off.
I've got like 3 phones, a tablet, a bell tower, all keyed in to wake me at any given time. His phone,
Roosters are waiting.
Yeah.
Come on. 3:59 comes around.
the roosters are
This guy gets up. Come on. You gotta wait.
they're shuffling feathers, just walking around, just like under their breath. It's like, morning Jim, morning Bob. How are you? Yeah. Just getting ready for the first call.
little bowl of extra virgin olive oil for them with the gargle.
The roosters are waiting. You're going to bed? You're like, hey, boys, how are you? Waiting for Dim? Yeah. See you tonight.
You been gargling? Gargling?
I'll see you tonight. And this guy's just dead, man. It's like a black
If I miss my alarm, miss the alarm. If I don't wake up, I don't wake up.
It's like the apocalypse would come. John didn't get the memo. He was sleeping.
It's 11. Oh, I guess a day off today.
Dude, it's a quiet out there. No, well.
Walk out in the PJs and the whole street's just deserted.
The rapture's happened.
He's just looking around like, oh, no mail. All right. He just goes
That
back in.
newspaper didn't come.
Fires up destiny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's on the server.
Nevertheless, I know that about him. He's brutal. So I have no qualm about sending off a meme at like 4 in the morning because I know it's not going to wake him and you're probably needing the extra serotonin
little buzz,
at that hour.
I did actually. Keep going. Gave me a little jolt.
I'll be honest. Since the last episode, his memes have kept going.
Mm-hmm.
They've
I feel like
you
they've
have dropped
eased
off
off.
the map. You've actually just you come in spurts like every 2 days.
So I never used Instagram before our chat.
Yeah.
And I still don't really use it. I just open it when you guys send stuff. The other day I opened it, like I said to you, it's gotten so much worse.
What's worse?
Like the amount of offensive meme shit. It's bad now. It's
The
bad.
algorithm's really fine.
It's so bad. I don't even want to talk about it. What I'm getting, but and I'm slowly starting to think to myself, if I start sharing this stuff, it could spread to other platforms, like because Meta.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm worried. And then I did actually notice now that I checked Facebook, I started getting it on there. And I'm getting the same stuff, and I'm like, man, if I open this in public one day, it's going to be,
Yeah. Look, do you know what it is? Honestly, it's just gone to full extremes because to beat to get your shit into the algorithm, you've got to go to the extreme.
Yeah.
That's what I found. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where marketing, say 5 years ago, was like, yeah, okay, you put up some hashtags, you do something for viral sort of stock, it'll get through, it'll push through. Now, because it's saturated with crap, what's wrong? Did you buy that?
yeah.
Okay, of course you did. It's kombucha.
I wouldn't think you just bought it, have it in there for him waiting.
Yeah, nah. I should go. Yeah, I should be more considerate and buy some. But actually,
Thank you.
I haven't restocked the fridge
I'd
in a while.
like that.
All right, I will.
I'll bring some in next time if I
I'll
remember.
wear a fake mustache and a blonde wig and go buy it so that I don't get recognised the next time.
It's like when you go to buy
Yeah. Chinese lube kombucha, and then just give me the dirty look. Can you imagine that? I'm at the conveyor. It's like, what's this? A gallon of lube, 6 boxes of toilet paper, and then it gets to the kombucha, and I look down.
Six pack of kombucha.
6-pack of kombucha. All right. So they're just
Vaseline.
wild knife for you, eh?
Sustained fibre.
Hey, it's the kombucha guy. He's sick. He just boop. Through the. Can you imagine that? Dude, at the self-checkout, you've literally got moisturising hand cream, lube, just all like a little fort around one little bottle of kombucha.
12-pack of tissues.
And I'm hiding the screen as I scan it through. So can we help you?
We're going to need someone a little bit more senior.
We're going to need someone to come over and just do the checkout. Anyway, what was I saying? Fuck, I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Now you're talking about your stupid kombucha.
Memes. Algorithms.
Oh, yeah, the algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's become that fucking extreme. Even I feel, well, I'm not a prude in any way, and I've been desensitized to porn and anything outlandish since, the invention of the internet. I'm opening Instagram, and it's not even my search feed. Like, it's just like, because it pushes it to the front of the algorithm. Whether you like it or not, it pops up on your main feed. It's like, man, I don't want to see this. I went into right-wing territory over the last week or two just because it popped in, right? What did Trump do like 2 weeks ago? Since the last pod.
I actually haven't paid attention.
He did something nutty where it just forced its way through.
Yeah.
And I'd spent too long. I looked at like a Charlie Kirk video, then I looked at something else, and now all of a sudden it's just, inundated.
They gotcha.
Yeah, to the point where it's coming up on my Insta feed. I'm like, why is this here as a suggested? This does not interest me. I've not unfollowed. I don't follow any of this shit. Why is it coming through? Even where it's like not extreme nudity, but it's.
I feel like they've changed.
It's too hard.
I feel like they've changed it now because when you're when you're in and then you're just going through it, like not swiping through your homepage, but like actually like
the search feed.
Not in the search, but like when you go into the video and then you swipe down, up and
so
down.
You've watched the video and you just swipe to the next one.
I find that it just progressively gives you more of that video, but it gets more extreme each time. At least on your feed, it's just going.
But that's
whatever.
My point.
Yeah.
It's been desensitized. We've desensitized that much, and the algorithm's been cranked to the maximum output and overdrive. Far right videos are now extreme far right videos. Extreme left videos are extreme, like rainbow, pro rainbow shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like it's all getting in there, like all of it.
Dude, I may have had, let's say 50, I might have been following 50 Instagram models, 5 years ago. Now it's like the feed's constantly just naked ass and like body wraps. I'm like, what the hell's this shit?
Well, I actually went through my my channel, like I went through who following yesterday, and I did a massive cull. I just got rid of like a good probably 100.
Yeah.
Just like they just bang, no. And it did clean it up a bit. But I found like same thing, like I don't know, some like you might have a couple model ones within maybe 10 to 20 swipes, it's already starts showing you porn stars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this coming through? Apparently, like about a month ago, something happened where the entire, I don't know, where they did a mass dump possibly of like videos or whether something was compromised there. But apparently there were like snuff shorts coming up as well. Like
snuff? Yeah,
not snuff, like actual murder shorts. So cops shooting people murdering other people.
On Instagram?
On Instagram. For 24 hours it came up. I think it was a Thursday, because I remember seeing one was basically a guy getting trampled by an elephant.
No.
I actually saw the first couple seconds of it. I'm like, well, this elephant's going to stomp him. And then basically I swiped up. Because how you start to cringe when you know something's just about to happen.
Yeah.
So like, this is going to end bad. So I swiped up. Then the next day I was essentially just on, I think, Facebook or something. I can't remember which one it was. And they were talking about the exact same video. I was like, that guy just got completely trampled and squashed and like popped like a pimple. And I'm like, well, I had just gotten out of that just then, but
it might be.
John's like, I was about to jerk off. Could have been a bad night.
I think it might have something to do with the fact that of the Palestinian Israeli war. Because everyone's sharing pro-Palestinian videos, but they're not realizing with the pro-Palestinian videos come all the Hamas shit that comes out with it as well.
I've noticed there's a lot of basically these Islamic stuff coming through, like hardcore
Germans speaking, reading the Quran.
A lot of it's the anti like UK stuff. Like basically, I showed you, like I sent you that one with that Irish girl.
Yeah.
That is a piss take.
Yeah.
No, that has to be a piss take.
No, it's not. Apparently, that's like, when you go for like a kind of a sit down video and like.
Oh, like a training video.
Yeah. But like for a school, like if you're sitting there as a teacher or a student who's probably said the wrong thing, I don't know. But a lot of the stuff coming through about England basically being overrun by migrants, or like not just Europe, but specifically the UK at the moment. And it's just all Palestinian flags going through, marching through.
I have a question. The girl in the video that had the braids. Okay, so wait. Explain the video. It was a red-headed Irish girl and a girl of some African descent. She was black.
Yeah, I can't
They don't actually say where she's from.
No.
Right, so she's black and she's got braids.
Yeah.
The Irish girl said, I'd like to have my hair in braids. I'd like to try that style. And the black girl said no because that's cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
And then the redhead said, what was that line that they closed with? It was brutal.
The girl?
Yeah, when they both turned to camera and said it.
Oh, I thought I knew, but now I know better or something.
Yeah, right.
But then I love the dude's answer. It just kills it.
Oh, yeah. But
that's it. That's exactly,
Yeah. So the insinuation is that white people have appropriated braids from black people. I'm pretty sure braids have existed since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
How is it appropriation from black people?
It's not.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's because it's like with the same thought of like, just because you're in Africa, you must be black. No, there's North Africa and they're all kind of like choco color, like a light caramel color.
Yeah, Moroccans aren't black.
No. But the assumption is that anybody who's in Africa is black.
No.
Well, no, they're not.
No, we said that about Egyptians too.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got 3-4 Egyptian friends in Melbourne. All of them look totally different. You've got full African looking dudes, and then you've like Bedouins, and then you've got not so like more like Europeans, Northern European, Southern Europeans, and they're not all Muslim either. They're Muslims, Coptics. There's an what's it called? Pentecostal in there as well, and a Catholic. It's a melting pot. Egypt is a melting pot. Yeah. Anyway, so that was my one big grievance with that. The fact that how is it a cultural appropriation to have a hairstyle?
Because they've jumped on the thought that, it's an African hairstyle. No, it's not, because it was in the middle. It was in like Europe and Scandinavia.
The Vikings had braids.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And they had no interaction with Africans. So how they come up with it? They just came up with a braid. That's it. It's as simple as that.
It's a good way. It's a good way to put your hair back when you're going into battle. That was the purpose of it.
Yeah,
back
the Middle East had it as well. There's freaking lines in the freaking Bible about braids.
Yeah. So then, how does
you
that
need
happen?
to woke up, Tim? Okay.
Okay, but like that video said, well, why is it that the black girl, she's only black. She's not even like, it's not even. Is she Jamaican? Is she Portuguese? Is she?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. She's black, and that just automatically.
That's a race in itself now.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, isn't she appropriating culture by coming to the UK and living as we do here?
Getting an education.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And wearing clothes.
But that's what I'm saying. The algorithm now is just extremes of everything.
No, it is.
There's no more tasteful modelling photos. It's all just nudes.
Tasteful modelling photos don't make you money.
Yeah.
And content that's not extreme doesn't make any money anymore. People aren't interested in it.
It's the same like even with the cosplayers, because the cosplayers were like, yes, all right, they go to the expos and they make their money and they'd have their pages. You get almost every cosplayer's page and it's the same thing. There's your link, straight to OnlyFans.
I was about to say, the problem being that now you can literally just buy shit from the comfort of your chair. You don't need to really waste your time with everything in between.
Yeah, do you know what it is? Do you remember the Do the Evolution video with Pearl Jam?
I don't remember the video.
Yeah. It was a full anime, and it's like a timeline of society. And it shows like periods of time.
Yeah, briefly.
It's like the evolution of man, like starting from just building up, hunter-gatherer, and then la 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 la. And it has like it shows like, socialism. It shows like the war. It shows everything. Every stanza of like society just evolving until we're literally living in that simulation. And one of the simulations in the video is a guy sitting in his chair with VR goggles. Just, I think he was beating a girl.
Yeah, I remember you
with a
saying
belt.
that. Yeah.
We're literally there now. You can just sit in your living room with the VRs on and just order whatever sick fantasy you have.
Well, I just saw there was a report on one of the news channels that was saying that OnlyFans porn addiction has like hit its all-time high in Australia. Like the profits in Australia is like all-time highs right now. And they're saying it's could be a big problem.
It is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, could be. Of course it is.
I mean, to each their own, like people that want to spend their money on, again, like you said earlier, right?
Yeah,
Tobacco.
but then don't turn around and say you don't have money for things if you got that.
Well, they don't have money for that.
No, but they do though. They do have money for that.
Oh, of course, it's priorities.
But that's what I mean. Exactly. Don't turn around and then complain and say you don't have money for food and rent and cigarettes and
Yeah, but see, cigarettes are now a problem. Like the the cigarette wars. Yeah. Did you see that thing that happened? Oh, hey man, can you give me a bottle of water? Why are you looking at me like a cat burglar?
You want a big, small, medium one?
Just give me a bottle of water. I paid for all of it, so what difference does it make? I'll drink it all. I'll sit here just guzzle. It's my water. No one's taking this water from me.
It's mine.
Thank you. Did you see
You're
that?
very welcome.
Was that ice? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Icy.
There was that thing last week where they had like a town hall emergency meeting between some ministers and bullshit saying, how are we going to tackle the cigarette war? Did you see it?
No.
It was like a big thing, like a stop the press.
But I thought the cigarette war's kind of stopped now because the dude back in the Middle East died.
No.
Yeah, someone takes over.
No, do you know why? Okay, this is the frustrating thing, and it's not a unique perspective. It's been shared multiple times by, a lot of commentators and all that. It's just fucking plainly obvious. The cigarette wars have started because the government has hiked up the prices, taxed everyone out of the arse on darts, and created a new demand for illegal cigarettes. So now, because people can't afford to pay $50 to $60 for a pack of smokes, they're going to pay $20 to $25, $15 to $25 for a pack of Double Happiness or whatever it is, illegally imported darts, without the taxes on them, because it's just cheaper. Why pay $60 when you can pay $15 or $20? Right?
Yeah.
It's like prohibition.
Oh, you could just stop smoking.
Yes, I agree.
No.
Hang on. It's like prohibition. Yeah, in the 20s and 30s, they brought in prohibition because they were going to ban the sale of alcohol. Dude, alcohol has existed since the beginning of time, right? You're not going to just ban alcohol because people are reliant on it as a form of whatever, right? Whether it's a relaxant or whether it's a whatever it is, right? A depressant, whatever it is, you're not going to ban the sale of alcohol. It's not going to work, especially when it's one country that does it, out of the whole world. So what did it do? Prohibition. Bootleggers, moonshine stills. People were starting to blow themselves up because they were making what was it drink in the Simpsons? The mint julep, the bathtub mint julep.
Oh yeah.
People are blowing themselves up in bathtubs.
You won't.
Yes, I will. Please, boy, call me Beer Baron. We're out of who's Beer Baron. Yeah. Okay, you create prohibition because there's a demand for it, right? And then people start blowing themselves up. You start having illegal bootleg wars. You start having organised crime, sorting it all out, getting involved, people dying, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the cigarettes, man. They can say that they raised the taxes on it because they want to stifle cigarette smoking. Then ban the thing altogether. If you want to stop smoking, ban it. Why? Why didn't they ban it? Because they knew there was a market for it. Exactly. 100%. They can just raise the taxes because at the end of the day, people are going to darts. They're going to buy a pack of smokes. Problem is demand. Everything goes up. Everything's expensive. You're not going to stop old mate buying a pack of smokes, but he's going to get savvy about it. He's not going to buy them for $60 at Coles. He's going to buy them for $20 at the local cigarette, vendor.
Milk bar.
Yeah, the milk bar. But it's everywhere. It's in plain sight. You can walk into any milk bar in Melbourne and just say, can I have a pack of Double Happiness? Yeah, they'll be $15. How come I not? I don't even smoke, but I know what a pack of Double Happiness is. But
I would have thought it was a happy ending.
Double. But what killed me was that they had that whole town hall meeting, emergency stop the press thing with all these ministers and cabinet members. What are we going to do about the cigarette wars? It's like, you You created this mess. You raised taxes to the point.
We should raise taxes on cigarettes.
Yeah,
That's the solution.
Raise them even higher.
Yeah. Because, dude, like I said, I don't smoke, right? But for some people, I recognise that all they have in life is a pack of smokes and a 6-pack of beer at the end of the week. Not everyone lives a blessed life. Not everyone has, what's it called? Like luxuries or like, you know what I mean? For some, because I've worked with these men, man. I've worked with these guys in factories and warehouses. Dude, you're talking.
Do you know how many skins they can buy on Destiny for that amount of money? That's happiness.
That is true.
Once upon a time, it was happiness.
Dude, I've worked because it shits me when people say to me, "Oh, just stop smoking." It's like, mate, I'd be in a warehouse with 1,000 men, and a third of them would be like in their mid-50s, broke, desolate because they got cleaned out by like 2 ex-wives and 3 kids. They're working 50 hours a week just to come up with alimony and rent. All they have is a pack of darts when they go home. We try telling them, "No, you can't smoke anymore." It's like, you're taking the last thing I have. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, when there's a Steam sale on, you can...
Anyway, what chafed it for me was that stupid cabinet stopped the...
And what was the conclusion?
Nothing.
They're raising the taxes.
Taxes.
Taxes. They're doing the thing with the finger thing.
The finger thing is at the taxes. I'm trying to forget about taxes.
It's always Mo's voice, though, but it's not even in the room.
Anyway, that's my point. Sorry to go on a long-winded rant. I'm just making a point. They created a situation by upping the taxes to the point where it's at choke point, and now there's an illegal revenue stream.
I love how that's what they need the emergency meeting about, not the actual stabbings and crap going on in Melbourne.
Yeah, but that's the point. When they're all standing around the room, literally pulling each other off, and it's like, how are we going to come up with a solution? Good work, Jim. Yeah, that's right. It's like, dude, you created the problem. If you wanted to ban smoking altogether, then just fucking ban it, and they'll shoot each other to death over it anyway. But you can't. Not cigarettes and alcohol. They've taxed us in this country through the roof, man.
You know what they need?
Oh, here we
They
go.
need a taste of their own medicine.
Who?
The cigarette
government or-
wars.
Okay.
Some prospective golden dawners. Simultaneously, every single cigarette shop in Victoria just goes up in flames the same night.
They're doing it to themselves anyway.
Yeah, but every single one.
Because it became the acai wars after that. The acai shops started going up in smoke because all the bikie gangs have bought into the acai shops because it's another front, like the
This
tattoo
acai is
parlors.
delicious. What's in it? Tobacco.
Think about it, man.
Can I get an acai with the side of double happiness?
Dude,
It comes out in just one.
like flakes.
Instead of sucking it through a straw.
Menthol. Double blast. Think about it. You go to Greece, and you can buy a pack of smokes, a bottle of water, and a lighter for €5, right? You get change. They're not as disgruntled with their everyday lives the way they are here, where people are getting thrown on the street, because they're happy to just have their pack of darts at the end of the day and not give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can still buy a Suvo for €2.5, €3 in Greece. You can buy a Suvo and a pack of smokes. They don't care.
Can you imagine the day when prices on Suvos go up in Greece and there's riots?
They did. Dude, they put them up to €5 or €6, and people were losing their minds. Or during the recession, it was like €3 for a Suvo. Are you kidding me? Look, no, we're not having it.
Talking about riots, did you see that thing that happened in Serbia?
No.
Serbia? I saw Turkey.
No, it was in Serbia. So apparently, I think a train derailed, and I think 49 something.
No, that's
happened.
Greece. That's Greece.
Something happened. No. Something happened in Serbia.
Oh, no, in the Macedonia, the DJ fire, the nightclub fire.
No. It was in Serbia, and something happened, and I think 49 people died, and it was due to corruption within the government.
No.
That sounds like Greece.
That's Greece. 2 years ago, there was a train wreck in the northern part of the country, and it was due to like mishandling of like safety checks and corruption, and they were protesting about it now.
But this
18
is in
months later.
Serbia, specifically Serbia.
You're mistaken.
No, because there's footage of basically...
John?
I will research this while you guys talk about it.
Incorrect.
It was in Serbia, Tim.
No, you're thinking of Macedonia. There was a nightclub fire.
Serbia, because they...
Why are you fixated on Serbia? Because a partisan wearing the black and white like Juventus?
Yeah. It's just
I'm
classic
just trying
colours.
to draw something to link it back. It's like the most ridiculous thing. It's like
They used, I think,
Serbia, partisan, black and white is Juventus. Yes.
Oh, no, he's on something. In November 2024, a series of mass protests began in Novi Sad, following the railway station canopy collapse in the city, which left 15 people dead.
Yeah, 15.
And 2 severely injured. As of 9th of March 2025, the protests have spread to 400 cities and towns in Serbia and are ongoing.
And I think it was a week or two ago. I think it was a week and a half ago. They were protesting in a city, and there was about 80,000 people there. And the police, they were given the go-ahead to use a sound cannon on them.
What's a sound cannon?
Pull it up.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, it's against human rights to use that. Like, nobody uses it.
Serbia.
Huh?
There's nothing into the human rights.
No.
Human rights do not exist in Serbia.
Sound cannon, it's fake.
Apparently, it sounds like a train is heading towards you, and it nearly caused a mass...
Deafening?
No, like a mass... apparently, it plays with the nervous system.
They're like, how did you feel?
The brown note on South Park?
Yeah, like it can
on a recorder.
It can cause. I don't know if it can cause death, but it can really stuff you up really, really bad.
The brown note is at such a low octave on a recorder, the tiniest instrument on the planet.
What's this from?
South Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cartman discovers the brown
Cartman's
note.
trying to find the brown noise, and he's testing it out, and everyone's like, it doesn't exist, it's fake.
And then he hits it.
And then eventually he's on, like, nationwide television and it plays the note.
It's so stupid.
I don't know if he's episode. Is this an early one?
No, it's a pretty old school one.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, dude, we were talking about the brown note when we were at TAFE, so at least 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you don't see anyone because they're just still standing there, and it was like a peaceful protest, and all of a sudden you just hear like it sounds like a train is coming towards them, and you just see everyone part, but nothing's happening, and they're all just freaking out.
Why is it bringing up Dow things? Maybe just to fuck with Andy.
He's having it's okay, I'm diversified. I'm good.
He's having a panic attack. Okay. All right.
0.05%.
He just runs out of the building. To the train line. What happened to him? I don't know.
Why didn't he get his car? Can't afford it.
All right, what am I looking up?
Serbia sound cannon. Sonic cannon protest.
Sound cannon. I'm pretty sure, is cannon? Yeah, that's right. Did police, fact check. Here we go.
Oh.
Wait, hang on.
Tied in your buttholes.
Fact check. Did police use a sonic weapon at this protest, or police appear to use sonic cannon to disperse peaceful protest?
Well, look at the 50-second one. You can hear it. Why would they just move when then nothing's going on?
Also, we don't pick the fact check.
Maybe Bieber tickets went on sale.
Maybe.
So, a large crowd of people were protesting in Serbia when a sudden loud sound immediately triggered panic. Demonstrators gathered after 15 people were killed when part of a train station collapsed in Novi Sad.
You just see him. You will see it.
Sonic cannon was used during the protest. I didn't see anything.
Because
Well,
you
you
don't
wouldn't
see
see
it.
it.
Sound.
Yeah, but
But you just see them disperse. That's not a good video. There's better videos.
Get the one where people are falling over and bleeding.
Yeah.
the people that are spontaneously combusting.
No, that's fake.
There's a guy being riddled with bullets, actually being like ragdolled. That's fine.
I can see the sound.
All right, let's watch the CBC News. All right.
The mass panic and confusion caused by whatever this was during protests in Serbia has human rights organizations accusing Serbian authorities of using an illegal sonic weapon during a peaceful protest, something the government denies.
The Serbian police never used it.
So what happened here? And did some kind of sonic weapon cause these protesters to suddenly separate, or was it something else? Here's what we know.
Nothing.
March 15th,
Pause for 1 sec.
during the biggest protest
So he
in
didn't
Serbia's
say, we don't have that technology, we wouldn't use that sort of technology against... They never used... No, we didn't use it. It's still in the base. It's in a truck somewhere, you know, like...
Something their warranty. We cannot wait. Let's have a
Not
look.
very expensive.
history, over 100,000 people gather in Belgrade for a silent vigil.
Can you imagine? Wait, Paul. Can you imagine?
We're never going to get through this.
Can you imagine? They use the weapon and another train station collapses and they're like, the first one.
Dickheads.
Following the collapse of a train station canopy that killed 15 people in November. At 7 p.m., the vigil begins. And according to the CCTV footage, at 7:11 p.m., crowds near Terezia Square, several blocks up from Slavia Square, suddenly separate in a wave moving north, away from the office of the President of Serbia. Down the road, videos also show the crowd separating in the opposite direction. From multiple angles, you can hear this. As people move, witnesses described hearing a noise like an airplane engine.
When the sound passed, I got a panic attack. I started shaking, crying. I couldn't breathe. That's me every day when I get an email notification on the phone.
That's me when I wake up. Oh, another day.
Logical and panic impact on a crowd.
People are accusing authorities of using long-range acoustic devices, or LRADs, for crowd control, illegal for police to use in Serbia. And earlier in the day, this picture shows police...
Okay, hang on. Pause for a second.
Mm.
Why is this
when
thing illegal?
When are we going to get through this?
I know, this is taking forever.
You keep stopping it.
Shut up. This guy's dying. Okay, why is this illegal?
Because it can cause mayhem, from my understanding, to the nervous system.
As in physically...
People, from what I understand, if it's done strong enough, I think they can die.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen inflation right now? That causes mayhem to the nervous system. Every time I go put fuel in and I see $100 for 20 litres of fuel, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not entering your body. It'd be, something's forcefully entering your body.
It's not a comparison to your plight, Dim. It's like what's going on somewhere else around the world. It's going on somewhere else around the world.
John's going to servos with 2 guns, from the Bowsers, and just spraying it. Yeah, don't worry. $1,000, put on my tab.
So you can't do that.
He likes to smoke.
Throws a wad of cash at them. Pick it up.
That reminds me of, here's a phone. Call somebody who cares. 911. Give it. What a throwback.
Has a truck, a fuel tanker with his face on it. Just rock up. I'll refill everything.
Maximum output of 150 decibels, which can cause hearing damage. Yet nobody in these videos seems to be covering their ears. It's not clear what time these videos were taken, but witnesses told human rights groups this all happened between 7:11 and 7:12 p.m. Some posts claim this was coming from the direction of the presidential office, which happens to be close to the middle of where the incident.
Have you seen enough? I've seen enough.
The south occurred.
Okay, Dim's not sold on human rights, but that's okay.
Dude, they could have released a bunch of rats into the crowd. The crowd would have dispersed.
Man. Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't know what it is.
It's pretty obvious.
What?
Do you see a car coming towards them?
It's Hammer.
I don't know.
Move along now. Heavy with the Simpson references today, man.
I know, going strong.
Okay. Okay. So it's not like they're using tear gas or anything, or nerve gas.
No, but they've said that sonic weapons can cause destruction on your nervous system.
Like immediate destruction?
Immediate. Yeah.
From my understanding, I think only the military, it's supposed to only be used by military.
Well, it is military, isn't it?
No, that was police.
They're supposed to be tested, but they're not supposed to be used by military.
Yeah.
Same with laser weapons. They're not supposed. They have them. We know everyone's got them now, but you're never supposed to use them.
Pull up sound actually
now,
do a
Boris, do not use this.
What? He's already dead.
What do you want me to look up?
Well, look it up. What can the sound cannons... No, as a Google search, what can sound cannons do to a human body?
What can sound cannons do to a human body? All right. Sound cannons are long-range acoustic devices, LRADs, can cause a range of physical and psychological effects on humans, including pain, disorientation, nausea, migraines, or even permanent hearing damage or tinnitus. Here's a more detailed look at the potential effects. So basically, this looks like Andy's had a couple of loaves of bread. So pain and discomfort,
Actually, you know what? I was going to link it to that.
disorientation, nausea, migraines.
They might as well call this a celiac
Vestibular
cannon.
damage, fear and anxiety. Andy, have a taste of this ciabatta. Dude, this is me waking up every
Does
morning.
this sound cannon have gluten?
Why is he looking at me like this? That is literally me looking at my phone. It's like, you owe this, this is overdue. This needs to be submitted. For fuck's sake.
Let's turn this phone off.
One day.
Well, I mean, I suppose the difference is those people didn't have a choice in that, whereas you choose to have that.
Don't look at me like that, you smarmy prick. Hey everyone, we know you're completely displeased with this sham of a podcast, so take the opportunity to comment in our YouTube channel or on our social media posts. For every follow that we receive on Spotify, we get one step closer to buying non-powdered milk. And now, back to the episode.
This is probably going to come like a fetish thing, by the way. Well, at some point, someone's going to come out and be like, yeah, I need to be hit with a sound cannon.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Kick me in the balls while playing a sound cannon.
Some masochist is going into like a dungeon somewhere in Huntingdale where there's a madam with just big cone speakers in a room. She's not even naked, no leather, no PVC, nothing, man.
She's in a cop uniform.
Yeah, just having a smoke, reading a book. Yeah, just tell me when to flick it.
Walking past the shop. The hell's that?
Just vibrating.
The books abandoned. There's newspapers all over the windows. Just another Hughesdale shop.
Psychosocial consequences. Hang on a second. Any form of hearing loss can have a considerable impact on a person's life, potentially leading to blah, 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 blah. Okay, the sound waves can damage the vestibular. Is that how you pronounce that? Vestibular?
Yeah.
Which is responsible for balance and spatial orientation. All right, so it is like tinnitus. Okay. All right. So, wait, can you use this in military or not?
I have no idea.
You're not supposed to use it. You're not supposed to use warfare that can't be seen in military.
I don't understand that.
What?
Like, I get the premise, but you're not allowed to use it.
It's
Why?
for the illusion of a fighting chance.
But that's what I'm saying. Since when has life been about fighting chances?
No, look at the drone strikes.
No, but think about it. No, hang on. Think about this one, right? The illusion... Wait, this is coming out of John's Golden Dawn Charter, like the first book written talking about fighting chance, right? Think about this one, right? We can't use these weapons because it's the illusion of a fighting chance. It's unfair, yada, 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 right? Okay. What fighting chance do starving kids in Africa have of surviving?
None.
Don't even have to go to Africa. Come to Australia where like the cost of living is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And you got these poor bastards that need their pack of darts because they've got nothing else. What fighting chance do they have?
None.
So who gives a shit about instruments of war when the object is tyranny and capitulation of governments?
The difference is those are their governments doing that to them. This is international warfare.
Yeah, so what? But that's my point. It doesn't matter. Could these? You just said these instruments of war couldn't be used on international playing field either. So what difference does it make?
Well, they don't use them because they don't want it to be used on them in response.
The whole point.
So the agreement is if you don't use it, I don't use it. But the moment someone uses it, all fucking hell breaks loose.
Not necessarily.
It all depends on who throws the first stone.
Well, no, not necessarily. It kind of
degree.
depends on what's happening.
Hang on, wait. So look at the fat boy on Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Americans dropped them. For why? To literally stamp him into the ground so war would stop.
Well,
In retaliation to Pearl Harbor.
no, it wasn't retaliation. That was what brought them into the war.
Here we go. John's going to talk. It's his favourite platform. Look at him like that.
But in saying,
you're going to look at him for support?
In this day and age, if you fire a missile into another country, there's a good chance in this day and age you can stop it with technology.
Yeah.
You can't stop that.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not.
No,
Well,
you're
There's
missing
going to be a dude
unless you-
standing there with giant headphones.
Yeah, I was. Good thing I bought the bows.
You're handing out those helmets, the earmuffs.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. Wait a second. If America drops a bomb on pick a country in the bereaved Middle East, Libya, right?
What type of bomb?
Another fat boy.
They won't.
Let's just say.
But they won't.
Hang on, man.
But they won't.
Wait a second. Oh, wait a second. North Korea a couple of years ago when Trump was president in 45 as 45th, right?
Yeah.
They were stoking the flames. Kim Jong-un was losing his mind. They said, we've got the missiles to intercontinental ballistics, blah, 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 blah. Trump's whole thing was, our bombs are bigger than yours, and I dare you to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they launched anything, if Korea launched anything, America could have gone gung-ho and just dropped, literally blow them out of the sky, right?
100%.
And on a united front, on an international front, who would have ever stopped them?
There's countries that would get... Russia and China would
Russia
get into
and China would be forced to intervene. Maybe. Depending at what scale Korea had bombed them, right? But everyone would turn a blind eye because Korea is a parasite.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Well, yeah.
But it all becomes on who won. History is remembered by the victors, not the losers.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's my whole point. So, in the irony of most people are born into, like, unless it's the lottery of life. Unless you're born into a country with a high, what's it called? A high standard of living. Right? You're given a fighting chance from birth in order to see out your life expectancy of whatever that country is. Right? The irony of a government, of world diplomacy and maritime laws prohibiting the use of extreme weapons because it doesn't give civilians or the enemy a fighting chance. It's like, what are you kidding? Wars are remembered through the perspective of winners, not losers. So who gives a shit about the fighting chance? That'll be determined after the fact. I'm not saying it's not inhumane.
So you said a few things there. I'd like to address them.
Hang on, wait, like he's representing, the Axis here. All right, you are Italian. Listen, I'm not against prohibiting the use of inhumane weapons. I'm not talking about that. Drone warfare is just as inhumane. You're literally playing a video game with people's lives.
Or have you seen the drone warfare coming out of Russia, out of Ukraine?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, they're already
chasing down like dudes in tanks, or in cars.
But they'd already done that in Iraq.
No, those were with big drones. These are like little drones that are like you buy it at the post office.
I know.
That's true. Actually, once upon a time, we were talking about drones that would sit above the clouds in stealth.
Yeah.
Big planes that would like
now
scope
they're on
out.
the battlefield.
Now we're talking about actual household.
Well, that's what they're saying that the what are they called? The cartels were going to use on the border.
Yeah.
Okay. My point is, okay, I'm not against inhumane weapons of war. Like, I agree, right? Like the nerve
we
gas.
should use them.
No, like the nerve
Jim's
gas.
in favour of nerve agents.
No, there should be.
Yeah.
Geneva Convention should stand. Shouldn't be torturing people just for the sake of it. I get it, right? All that. I understand.
Why
but it's
aren't
rich.
they-
It's rich.
Yeah.
It's just rich coming from like governments that literally impose tyrannical sanctions on their own people and impose unfair living conditions, wages, taxes, all that sort of shit. Who gives a shit about some sound cannons? Like, I'm barely getting up in the morning and being able to pay for my electricity and my water.
Well, that's very selfish of you, Tim. That's a very self-centered view of everything.
How? Okay, go. The defense rests. Go. What was the...
Okay, so...
Should we grab the mic? Like
He's ready.
I'm a bit prepared here.
So, the dropping of the bombs on Japan was a world race. It was either going to be Germany or it was going to be America. America got to it first. So, then they had to decide, well, what do we do? Where do we use it? Where can we and why should we use it? They looked at Japan. I've already spoken about this in the past. The country was so nationalized that they would have to have fought every single person to take over the country.
Yeah.
And then not only that, they were firebombing the cities every night, and they could smell the people burning from up in their planes, like 3 kilometers up. I don't know how high. They were flying 10,000, whatever you call it. So that's how bad it was. So they did a life-to-cost ratio of what was going to be more effective, and they decided it would be far easier to drop the bombs and
Yeah.
make a statement that way.
Bury him into submission before
Yeah.
it gets off.
So since those 2 times, they've never dropped any bombs ever since.
Page 1 of John's Constitution.
Make the first move.
My first page would actually be a fold out of like the Art of War.
So this was lifted from the Art of War.
2, we're talking about international warfare. When there's like civil wars, that's different. Like they do whatever they want to each other. International wars, why landmines against
Why is Andy
the Geneva Convention? Andy, what do you think?
Why are you laughing?
I'm just picturing like some parent giving little Johnny a book. Oh, thanks, Mum. And he opens the first page and it's got like step 1, board a plane. Oh, you're going to get on a plane, little Johnny. Step 2, bomb the fuck out of it.
I was just picturing like the first chapter called Canis Canimated, like dog eat dog
Yeah.
in Latin. What is this? Nothing. Oh, they're learning 2 languages at school.
Oh,
Nice, Latin.
Machiavellian. Continue. Sorry.
Landmines, like I don't know. What do you think landmines aren't supposed to be used?
well, some are, right?
Yeah, they're not
some
supposed- yeah.
aren't. And the ones that aren't are the ones that,
Aren't they the ones that cluster out?
yeah, they're not supposed to be used.
I thought it's because the cleanup of them in the post-war effort is always going to be
Because it's a maiming effect. They don't want stuff that will essentially maim soldiers and civilians.
Yeah, they're still picking landmines out of Vietnam, Cambodia,
Afghanistan,
Serbia,
Vietnam.
Bosnia. Yeah.
There's literally still artillery shells in France
Yeah.
from World War One, and like people still die from them every year.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's all about trying to do it, I suppose, without like that. Essentially, not like a cruel type of warfare. Essentially give the person a quick death, and then make them suffer. That's essentially what it comes down to.
Effectively what we're doing every day anyway.
And pretty much, like, it is enforced for all the countries, but then you can choose not to use it. But then if you get ousted, you're going to be on a noose by the end of the week.
Yeah, I just think it's...
And starving kids in Africa is the African problem.
I just think it's ironic that the same governments that are imposing...
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Apparently,
it's our problem.
It's USAID's problem to send... Sorry, we got a correction. 49 million to Gaza in Mozambique, was it?
It's a community problem.
Yes.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're part of the problem.
You are the problem.
No,
Tim.
do you not understand the irony of it all, though?
No.
Governments putting in, like Geneva Convention sort of statutes to protect unfair warfare, when it's like, dude, the civilians of the same countries are struggling to maintain...
And they'll use those same civilians when they have to do a draft.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's the irony of it. It makes no sense.
So maybe it's on purpose. They raise... Inflation goes up, and no one can afford meals or smokes, and then they do a draft, and they say, hey, who wants to go to the military? We're going to war, but you're going to get 3 hot meals a day and a pack of smokes.
But that's what attracts them.
Bang.
100%
Well,
that's
that's
what
what they
attracts them.
used to recruit in America for the
That's
last
right.
50
That is
years.
America's playbook for recruitment.
It's smart.
Which is why Muhammad Ali made such a big stink when he protested and he served... How long was he in jail? A year?
I don't know.
18? I can't remember how long. He missed like 2 years, I think. He went to jail because they tried to draft him into Vietnam. He's like, man, I'm not going to go fight a war in Vietnam when I didn't even have the same rights here in America. Why would I bother?
Speaking of black males, how hilarious.
And that never ends well.
How hilarious.
Right now, there's someone in internal affairs just, I've got him. Get the cars.
Should we move in? Just wait.
The choppers have launched up.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. He's got his hand on the buzzer. I heard.
How funny are those George Floyd videos?
Oh, man.
They are popping up everywhere for me now, and it is hilarious.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's a form of extremism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's distasteful. Like, it's this, whether it's funny or not. Like, look, it's one thing making a joke, but then when Instagram pops up and it's now in real time and it's got a person's image used in a distasteful manner, it just keeps setting the bar further back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thank him. for ruining my bar every day.
You're welcome. I can send you better links too.
I can't imagine what you're
You know,
saying.
there's still some I haven't seen because I'm like,
1 minute I've got Asman on there talking about something, and then the next day I've got George Floyd.
I didn't send you the George Floyd stuff. by the
AI
way.
generated.
I've known him for like nearly 40 years, like 35 plus. You'd think I'd know him by now, but he's still hesitant to send whatever he wants to send. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this is too far.
Let me scale it back a couple of ratings.
No,
Go
seriously.
from MA to PG.
I don't know, man. It's a wild world, and I think we've gone to the part, like, considering we're children of the digital age where we saw the invention of, you know, the internet, we saw the algorithms, we saw the first porn on the internet to explode to be what it did. We played GTA 3 for the first time as teenagers. You were a kid. You would have been like 10 or something when GTA 3 came out.
I was playing Vice City. Which one was that?
How old were we? We were like 15? I remember us wagging to go to EB games.
It would have been
together.
high school, yeah. It
We were
would
in
have
high
been like
school.
15, 16, I reckon.
Yeah, 15, 16. So you'd have been 10 when
Yeah.
GTA 3. Vice City came out the end of high school. Would have been like 17.
No, Vice City was the one in Miami, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That I feel like is because 3, Vice City and San Andreas were all PS2 games. Mm-hmm. I feel like they came out every year.
San Andreas was a PS2 game?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Every year?
yeah. Back then they would release them like every 2 years, every year.
They're releasing them every 5 to 7 now.
Well, massive budgets.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Anyway, I was just making a point. Like, you know, you would have been entering high school when Vice City or San Andreas came out. So we got desensitized all this crap. I'm at a point now where, like, we're in our 40s and I'm looking at the algorithm like, man, this is too far for social media, which was meant to be just a tool for promotion and, you know, networking and stuff. At what point is the platform going to be abandoned? I can't be stuffed half the time, man. I'm finding myself unfollowing stuff as well just because I'm like, I can't have any more of this. It's
I
ridiculous.
think because we have been in that like perfect zone
Yeah,
where we've seen
the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah. I think because we're seeing it, we're getting over it. But anyone getting into it now, like, for example,
But that's their norm.
my parents, like, seem to love it now because it's hitting all the notes for them that they weren't exposed to for the last 20 years because they didn't really bother with tech. Now they're getting onto it and they're like, yeah, love it. Like, non-stop, or
Dude,
every night.
My mum and my auntie are apparently on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah.
My auntie's like, you know, 80, turned 80 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She's on Facebook.
Yeah, I got a message from my aunt for my birthday on Facebook, and I was like, she was like full on sending gifts and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah, my mum sends gifts and all that. Like that's she sends me links to YouTube videos and Insta and stuff. But yeah, she's like my auntie. I'd gone to see her like, you know, 6 months ago, whatever it was, and she's like, "Oh, I saw this from your cousin." I'm like, "Where?" She's like, "Oh, I'm on Facebook." I'm like, "How did you see it on Facebook? You're like 81." Dude,
Did you say that to her face?
I was just staring at it. I'm like, what the hell?
I feel like 76.
No, it's like,
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But then all the kids in school, like, it's just a trend. So of course they're going to jump onto it until they hit their like mid to late 20s, and
yeah,
then
but
feel
it's
like we
much
do.
more ingrained into their life.
Oh,
I feel,
100%.
Than as opposed to us.
Yeah, because we appreciated not having it, then having it.
We
so we know
appreciate-
what
We
both
had
ends
to
are
go
like.
to Chadston Saturday night about the TV. Remember I told you about the TV?
Oh, yeah,
we went
yeah.
to Chatty first just to check out some prices and stuff like that at JB. And as we were walking out, there was a 2-year-old in a pram just on a mobile phone. So,
Sell!
yes. I mean, it's right. He's from birth, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was disgusted. Just going off to nobody
What do
as
you
he's
mean?
walking past.
what was he saying?
Oh, I can't remember now, but
Go
he
off
was
to the parents. You make me sick.
he's like, makes me sick. Go be a proper parent.
But it's easy for parents to
Yeah, because it's
to
an
do
easy
it.
fix. It's
Yeah.
just like they don't have to worry about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But then they found, like, on all those videos, the Coco videos and all that it was, like, really...
Subliminal messaging.
Yeah, and then, like, the noises and the colours and everything was just... It was, like, perfectly attuned to,
Yeah.
like, brainwashing these little kids.
Well, I was being told the other day that so a lot of companies, like food companies now, have started putting in like health products and all the vegan products and all that stuff. And they're saying that like that was its own thing because a lot of them, you look into them and they're pretty trash anyway, right?
Yeah, they are. It's that episode of South Park where Cartman thanks the vegans.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, basically, it's the exact same stuff as what he's already eating.
It's all shit, yeah.
It's all like highly processed with salt.
But then now you've got drugs like the Ozempic thing that's happening and all that stuff where people are not losing weight because it's burning fat, they're losing weight because it's curbing their hunger. And supposedly now food companies in the industry are basically saying, okay, well, this is a problem for us because we're not making as many sales as we want. So they've actually... This was a leaked document, so no one knows exactly who the CEO, at least from the time when I read this, is that did this. But they said, we're going to put billions of dollars towards research to figure out how we can bypass those receptors that people are blocking. So we need food to bypass that with chemicals, and that needs to be like a priority now. So it's like, how can a corporation do that and bypass for the sake of knowing that they're making people obese? Because I think the prediction numbers for 2050 was like a minimum of 50% of the population will be obese. And
2050?
2050, yeah.
So in 25 years, at least half the people on this planet are going to be
yes, a minimum of, yeah.
Obese to morbidly
That's what the
obese.
target shows. So how can we allow that to happen outside of, let's say, the tobacco thing is another example, but this can just happen. No one's stopping them. No one's saying you can't do that. It's against human rights. And people are stupid to... Well, not stupid. People are naive to say that, well, I'm buying it from a supermarket. It's good for me, probably. They wouldn't sell me something it's not good for me. They're not going to bother to check.
Essentially, like, if you go to a soup... Like, in order to survive, all right, you need fruit, veggies, meat. That's
You need
essentially...
sustenance.
Sustenance, yeah. I mean, you can get the protein paste that the astronauts have.
The better quality sustenance you have, the longer...
The nutrient paste, yeah, exactly. But what I'm getting at is, if you look at a supermarket... Probably more than, I'd say 95% of all the food there is all like overly processed stuff that you actually don't need.
Yeah.
It's crap.
Ultra processed.
Yeah. So
Anything with the shelf life of more than 5 days.
yeah, but essentially like
Literally.
everything in the fresh, the grey, like veggies and fruit department, produce department, maybe the bread aisle, and
Even produce is like, a lot of it, people
but
know now
it's
is
heavily processed.
covered in
produce.
wax.
Yeah.
They're covered in wax.
There's a reason why your bananas that you grow out in the backyard last for 3 days and the ones in the Woolies last for 2 weeks.
yeah. But what I'm just
Have you
getting
ever,
at is
just curious, right? Just quickly, have you ever bought like a punnet of strawberries and just left them there and they're like, okay, cool. A week later, week and a half later, they start going bad. If you wash them in like vinegar, in like a vinegar bath the day you buy them and they look pristine, give it like 6 hours. Watch them go down.
Yeah.
Watch them go down.
I was going to say, I buy strawberries because I cut them up and put them in yogurt. That's usually my nighttime snack after gym or whatever. Well, I took a page out of your book, man. It's like, well, what are you going to eat at that hour?
yeah, yogurt.
Yogurt, you know what I mean? With a bit of fruit in it.
I like it.
At best.
Yeah.
I bought a punnet like 2
Greek
weeks
yogurt
ago.
or?
Well, yeah. Or probiotic, something probiotic.
Very nice.
Isn't yogurt got probiotic in it?
No, but like something specifically probiotic.
I mean, like, is he getting flavored crap or is he getting
No.
Greek?
It'd be Greek yogurt, probiotic.
High protein.
Yeah.
That's what I usually. I'll just get like Greek yogurt.
I
I'll just put
usually-
some honey over it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I usually put like, either
Some
honey
nuts or something.
Honey, peanut butter, cinnamon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Cinnamon's like a natural, what does it do? It,
Anti-inflammatory.
yeah, anti-inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory, and it's also
It's a sweetener with no sugar.
regulating, so you burn fat.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's literally my dessert. You know what I mean? But yeah, I buy a pound of strawberries, and then some weeks I'm just flat out with work going from one job to another, and I forget about them, and they're in the back of my fridge. I'll pull it out like 10 days later, and they're still fine. Look at that, I'm like, is this sketchy? Might be a bit soft, but it won't be like black. You know what I mean?
And that makes you think, like, sometimes when you do get the strawberries and they're in your fridge for a day and they're already starting to turn, like, well, how long have they already been sitting there?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's when they're on clearance for like,
$2.
Yeah.
Like 50.
How
No,
are
no,
these?
$2.50.
Yeah, how are these $2?
Yeah.
Normally you're paying like 10.
Free needle with every
But essentially, what I'm just getting at is you know,
Bargain.
in order to kind of,
I need a new sewing needle.
I'm just getting at like your fresh produce, maybe your milk, your bread
Even
aisle.
milk.
Well, dude,
I mean, you probably don't need.
Do you
milk.
drink milk?
Not really. No,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
just in coffee. That's it.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Because milk would... Because you've got the flare-ups.
It actually makes it worse.
It makes it worse, right?
okay, so I used to buy 2 litres of milk every, 2 days, right?
Yeah.
I used to have cereal when I used to...
Cereal occasionally.
I don't eat cereal anymore.
Yeah.
I had I had 2 bowls of cereal when I got back from Vietnam because I was hanging for cereal because I had soup for breakfast for 3 weeks. Dude, since then, not a single bowl of cereal. And I felt like a milkshake or a coffee the other day. I'm like, I don't have any milk. I ended up buying less than a litre milk. I bought a small one. And then the other day I walked in and I thought, you know what? I feel it's nice weather for milkshakes and iced coffees and stuff. I'm feeling a bit cheeky. Maybe I'll buy a 2 litre and treat myself. Dude, I haven't even opened it. It's been 10 days. And the only reason I bought it is because I looked at the shelf life and it was 30th of March expiry. My brain just went, hang on, man, that's nearly 2 weeks. What the hell? And I must have just got it batched right there and then. But there was all these other ones before it. 22nd, 25th, 27th, 30th.
Yeah.
What are they putting in the milk?
So have you ever seen the words pasteurize and homogenize?
Yeah.
Those aren't good. They're not good.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
good.
always thought pasteurize, homogenize was good, but the process of it is to kill off all bacteria. Good, bad,
Louis
everything
Pasteur.
in between.
Blazing Saddles.
What reference was that?
Because we were talking. What was the Blazing Saddles reference? I sent you the muggers, buggers.
Oh, right, yeah.
Vipers, snipers, cutthroats. What was it? Indian agents, Mexican bandits. Yeah, and then hoof and mouth disease, a thing of the past.
Who would have-
What was it? Who was it that said through chaos comes order? Was it Nietzsche?
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche once said, chaos comes order. I'll blow it out your ass, Howard.
Oh. Oh,
Continue. So you thought homogenization and pasteurization was a good thing?
That's what sells milk.
Really?
That's what's all over
I
milk.
thought it was those colourful cow logos on the front.
What colourful cow logos?
I thought it was those pearly whites of those kids on the B1 and not B1.
Oh, the
A2.
Aryan Nation.
Yeah.
Dude, A2 milk, I swear to Christ, for years had an Aryan fixation. I remember driving from the city to Clayton in one night, and there was billboards and the bus stop signs. They were all blonde kids, blue eyes, pale skin. All of them. A2 milk. You don't remember it?
No. Kind of.
I've got the photo screenshotted
I
on
bet
my
you do.
phone. Because it was dude, it was blatant. Every billboard, the one at Burke Road, on Princess Highway and Burke Road, where the old Tattersalls building is, opposite Caulfield. Yeah, that had a massive billboard with a blonde kid.
Send him an email. Is there anything going on here? You get a reply. 9. Oh, okay.
It's just a link.
Must all be good.
It's just a link to a mysterious town hall meeting.
9. That's all good.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Interestingly, would you like to know something about the Aryan...
You never finished his point about homogenization.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, that's why I had a feeling he wouldn't drink milk, because I'm aware that after that process happens, because it's destroyed so many of the important things in milk, it basically actually almost turns it rancid and bad, in a sense. So it's known to cause inflammation at that point and be bad for you because of what they've done and how they've processed.
Someone gave me a bottle of milk the other day from it was like a Polish deli, and it was and the milk was unpasteurized, it was it was almost sour. And he goes, here, have one of these. I'm like, what? He goes, here, trust me, it's good. It's a bit bitter though. He goes, just give it a good shake before you have it. And I drank it, and it was almost fermented. It was like a sour, tangy aftertaste.
There was still hair from the cow on inside it.
100%. But it actually, he goes, I go, is it going to kill me? He goes, oh, you'll shit like an animal. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. But actually, no, it was nice. It was actually good.
That's what I drink now.
Yeah.
I've been drinking it for a while.
It felt good.
Yeah, that's my coffee routine now.
What, that milk?
Yeah, just unpasteurized, unhomogenized milk.
But how long does it last?
On average, look, it's not going to last a month.
An hour.
It lasts on average.
He opens it, he's just necking.
Quick, we're going to do it. Make everything.
He's making coffees for days.
Freezing them.
I'd say one bottle lasts me a week.
Yeah, okay, I can tolerate that.
That's about right.
It's not terrible.
Next time I can afford milk, I'll buy some.
It's not terrible. Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying about the Aryan race?
So apparently...
You know what I'm going to do? just for shits and giggles, I'll make this a two-parter and then cut it right there. So part 2 is literally, so you were saying about the Aryan race.
Yeah, so well. So apparently, like the Aryan race actually originates out of the Mongol steppe.
Oh.
Did you know that?
The Caucasus.
Yeah.
You're just finding this out now?
Yes. Oh, no, I've known it for a while, but it's just essentially it. So, like, there's images of, like...
Mother of God.
I think there's this image of this Mongolian girl or out of the steppe, and she looks nothing like Mongolian. Blue eyes, blonde hair.
How does that happen?
The mountains, man, the Caucasus region.
Because apparently a lot of societies have originated out of there.
Yeah. You didn't, I thought you would have known this.
You know, I'm just bringing it to the forefront for people who don't know.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Like, everything's like, you know, you didn't know that?
Speaking of Mongolian.
You'd be a good teacher. I tell you what. What do you mean, little Jimmy? You didn't know that?
Get out.
1 and 1 is 2. Seriously.
You must be drinking pasteurized milk.
You know what I've been stuck on for like fucking months? Probably over a year now. Easy. No, even longer than that. Do you guys ever watch
medieval fiefs and, what do you call them?
What?
Correct me on it.
Serfs.
Serfs. So you knew it straight away. He knew it.
So, you guys remember the movie The Quest with Van Damme? It's like a blood sport plus 2.0.
Was this an 80s one or a newer one?
90s.
No.
So it's set in the 18th, 19th century or whatever it is.
Okay.
Roger Moore's in it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, dude. And there's like some, Van Damme plays some French, style.
Oh, yeah, that's an iconic cover.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Some French aristocrat.
No. He plays like
Does
a
that ring a
street
bell?
guy.
No,
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
So he gets hired to go to a mysterious Thai island for like a battle of the world fighters. It's essentially, like I said, blood sport, but just revamped, yeah? And the guy, that Frank Dux guy actually sued them because the story's so close to Bloodsport, which was his apparent story, right? But it's a battle with fighters from all over the world. So you've got like America, who's like a boxer sort of type. You got a Greco-Roman wrestler, from Greece. Yeah, whatever. Every nation's represented.
Do you know it's 14% on Rotten
Oh,
Tomatoes?
it's such a good movie, man.
It is a good movie.
It's brilliant. But I was watching it with Malaka like 8 years ago, and there's the villain of the movie, the boss, right, is the fighter from Mongolia, played by that Quissy guy he's in every Van Damme movie. He plays Tong Po, he plays, whoever. But this is what he looks like. Yeah? He's from Mongolia. We're watching it. Malaka's at one scene. He's just like, man, what a turco. I turned and looked at him and go, he's Mongolian. But he actually looks like a baboner. The irony being, this is the actual Turk in the movie, but the Mongolian guy looks more like a Turk than a Turk. And the actor himself is Belgian.
That's hilarious.
Speaking of Mongolia, sorry. It just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Was it Khan whose bloodline stems like 30% of the world or whatever?
Genghis Khan.
Is it Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
And it's his grave that they never found, yeah? Because
he asked for it to be done that way.
The people that buried him were killed by another group, and then that group were killed by another group.
So it was done so that no one would ever know his burial place. So everyone was killed there on the spot, and then I think they killed themselves.
No. There were like 3 groups of people or whatever.
They killed down the chain.
They killed. There was a chain of people killing off other people.
So they did what they did. They killed them. Then they walked away. Met another group. They killed them. Then that group walked away, and then they got
like
killed.
Domino effect.
That's hilarious.
Why would you care? Why would it matter where he was buried though?
Because they probably didn't want desecration.
How did Genghis Khan die?
I have no idea.
I can't remember either, to be honest.
Chlamydia.
Crohn's disease.
The guy invented chlamydia.
I reckon.
He would have had that many. The hell?
It's dragon stuff.
I was going to say that sounds like that trumpet, the sound trumpet from Serbia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, hang on. Genghis Khan death. What year do you reckon he actually died? Oh, well, here you go, John. This is John's bag. But what year do you reckon Genghis Khan existed? Like, when do you reckon he's
Between the 11th and 12th century.
He died 25th of August, 1227.
Oh!
100 years old.
Because I know, because essentially the funny thing was, it's unreal to like read up about, like during the Crusades, because there was such a back and forth between the Middle East and Europe. There was rumors coming through, but they didn't it was like there was this warlord in the East, and his name was John something, and he was raising a grand host of an army to fight the Islamic world in the Middle East. And so they were looking forward to basically meeting up with him wherever it was, but they just kept hearing these rumors, and he's causing havoc on the eastern side of the opposite side, basically. And eventually when they met up, it was basically the Mongolians, and they just went to town on all the European countries.
Okay,
a scouting party eviscerated like 2 or 3 armies that Europe put together. Just a scouting army. And that was his top general. I always forget his name. Starts with G or B. I can't remember his name, but he was like one of his best generals, and this guy was just as ruthless as Genghis Khan.
So the history of one of the 24 histories of China has it that between the 18th and 25th of August 1227, Khan was feeling unwell with fever, which ultimately killed him within 8 days after the disease's onset. Then there's another article by some medical thing, published National Library of Medicine in America or something. Genghis Khan's death, an unsolvable riddle or simply a pandemic disease. There's an article from 2021. The article examines Genghis Khan's death from the historico-medical perspective. Although several etiologies have been proposed over the years, most of these at a closer look appear to be later inventions by historians. A reassessment of the available evidence suggests instead bubonic plague as the most likely clinical scenario.
Yeah, probably.
Makes sense.
That's
Well, that's what killed Alexander the Great. What's it called?
Not plague.
No, malaria.
Chlamydia.
His horse died from chlamydia as well. Bucephalo, or whatever his name was.
Alexander, are you okay? I'm all right.
Just give me some more of the calamine lotion. Calamine
Cold bath. I'm burning up.
Such a dick.
I mean, if I had to pick one time period, like, not to be alive in, it would probably be the period in that central location of where the Mongolians were. That's like one of the one places.
Like 1200 BC, 1200
You don't
AD.
want to live in that area. In a city that was like
You line up.
in his pathway.
You line up. Judgment comes. Man or woman? Man, death. Man or woman? Woman, rape.
Then death.
Man, yeah.
Then some smartass, I'm actually non-binary.
I'm trained.
Really?
They literally just yanked the clothes off. Death.
Wait. Yeah, death. Everyone's just looking at Genghis Khan, waiting for the judgment. He's like, wait.
You hear the sword come out of the sheath, like. No way. Actually, interesting.
Take the body to my chambers.
Hang on. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why, if you didn't want to be... have you ever seen the YouTube videos pop up in the algorithm that say worst period of human history? Yeah, I've never actually watched them.
Neither have I.
Okay, so why would you not want to be in... Are you talking about Central Asia now?
Yeah.
Okay, so specifically like the Mongolian region.
Where he was conquering.
Okay, why?
Because, like, he would give, like, go rock up to the gates. Hello, how are you? We're just here passing through. We really want your town. Surrender or everyone dies. There's like surrender or everyone dies. If they refuse to surrender, basically everyone face the worst possible death. We're not just talking like just stab them and that's it. It's like cruel deaths.
Can you imagine Robbo answering the gate? Like it's just it's like we are blah blah blah. Right. It's like surrender or death. Yeah, no, look, mate, we're not doing that.
It just takes one long drag.
Yeah, look, mate, we've got the finals tomorrow. You know, working hard at it. And passes around the back's got his 50th. You understand? You know what I mean? Like,
tell the armors not to kill the guy at the gate.
I like his.
I like the cut of his chin.
Basically, then even if you did surrender, it was a 50-50 chance he would still massacre the town regardless. So even if they willing, yeah, it's just like majority of like everybody else around the world, surrender. Okay, welcome to our fold. Now you fight for us. No, it was like, it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, guess what? You're on dead anyway. You just open the doors.
We're not really sure. Okay, kill that one. Kill that one. Kill that. How about now? Are you sure?
Look, we don't have enough T-shirts to go around, so some people are going to have to just go.
That's essentially what they did. They even people that would willingly surrender, people that willingly surrendered to them, they would still just massacre them.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? There's like a welcoming onboarding committee at the back. Let's call him Khan, right? And it's like, so have you got the party ready? Have you got the introductions? Yeah, mate, we've run short of T-shirts and clipboards with visors. This isn't going to go well. Just look at it. Look, just kill him anyway. We'll get them in. Dude, this guy just going over like party favors and gifts. It's interesting you've said this because I had this thing that's popped up in my algorithm over a couple of different accounts all asking the same thing. So I was going to ask you guys, if you could live in any universe as an NPC or main character, TV, historical, movies, literature, whatever, where would they be and like why? And it could be in anything, but as an observer seeing it, like, you're aware of like, you know, the experience. So whether you're going back in time or whatever, but you're still living through the thing as if it was like, you know, you experienced it for the first time as well. Or even just experiencing it as you are now. You can't alter the
There's
passage.
a lot to pick from there.
Yeah, you can't alter the passage of time. You know what I mean? Like you can't go, I want to live through World War II, so I'd take out Hitler and peace on earth and I'll be heralded as a hero.
You're living the exact
You're living in World
moment.
War II as a Nazi or as a Jew fleeing Germany or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Where would you pick? Because Mongolia would be interesting. I always assumed this guy would love living in like the Romance era. Like as a, subordinate of Kakao or something. Or
Romeo, shut up!
Right.
Trying to paint over here.
Shut up! They're going again. Seriously.
I was going to say is, no, it's okay.
Nah, go what? I'll cut it out. Just go.
One of the dwarves in the new Snow White movie.
Why?
I don't know. I just wanted some fun.
Yeah, okay. We'll touch on Snow White eventually. It's going to come up.
I don't know. That's a good question. That's actually a pretty good question.
It is a good
Because
question.
I was thinking, right?
I mean, if I did Three Kingdoms, obviously I'm going to die gruesome death.
in all...
Wait,
in
can they
any
all die
scenario.
gruesome death? Surely there was at least a few of them that lived.
Well, it spans 100 years, so they all eventually die regardless.
Yeah, but you're going to die. You have to accept mortality as inevitable.
Hold on. Majority of characters die pretty gruesome. Not majority, I'd say half of them at least.
As in the figureheads of that era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, even like the main characters end up dying of like tumours and essentially everything basically you can think of.
They all smoked opium, didn't they?
I don't know. Probably. It was like 200.
Yeah, they did. I think
AD?
they did.
They would have.
Yeah,
Surely
I think they did. It was a big thing.
China definitely had
Yeah.
opium at that era.
I don't know. Like, it's interesting.
Anyway, look, you don't have to be Cow or Lu Bu or whatever.
A foot soldier behind Cow.
You could be an NPC just following the battles and surviving.
You go.
It's just, hey, you coming? You go ahead. I'll catch up.
I just got to fix my armor.
John rocks up with a coffee and a donut, just strolls into the dead site. I wonder what happened here. No, but you can be an NPC.
Steps on a body, not over it. I thought you were dead. Just continue stepping on him.
I'll give you an idea. You could be an NPC in that era. You could be an NPC during the Terminator Wars of Skynet. Not necessarily dying, but just being part of the resistance. Just to see freaking, I'd say you can go limitless with this.
Yeah, I know you could.
Yeah.
That's a problem, though. Because you've thrown it at us.
Yeah, all right, but I'm just saying, think of the scenarios. Because I started thinking about it, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'd love to see New York era during the 80s in like the Spider-Man universe, right? And I'm like, well, if I don't have to be Spider-Man, I could just be living in New York, seeing these freaking things going off 24/7. I'm like, does anyone ever die in those? No, you hardly ever see deaths of civilians in that universe. It's always like that's what I never understood. New York City gets like buildings just collapse because of Venom versus Carnage or some shit. No one's ever dead. How often does someone actually die?
I don't know.
You'd be inconvenienced, but surely they're not rebuilding these apartments that quickly every week. Do you know what I mean?
I've actually got one.
No,
Interesting. It'd be interesting. No. It's part of
Police Academy, Blue Oyster Bar.
No, so
Nice uniform. Makes me wish I wore my sailor outfit. I'm getting out of here.
as an observer, so basically,
Continue.
So I think something really interesting because I was listening to so when they he's going to go for it straight away.
No, I'm not, man. I'm just changing. I'm changing this so I don't stop.
So when
what are you laughing at, man? Are you serious?
I feel like he's just dangling the bait around your face.
He wants me to do it. That's why.
They'd be a Warhammer punishment. A Warhammer story.
Yep.
So when they launched Age of Sigmar, basically what happened was the old world was destroyed. There was no good left. The bad guys won. They took over everything. Okay. So in the first book to launch the new gaming system, it was basically called I think it was a realm gate. Essentially, there's realm gates in all these different realms, and they connect them from kind of think of like Stargate. So basically, these gates that connect them from realm to realm. But what's happening is you got generations like 10 times removed.
Just get the fuck out of him. Still cool. Nice.
So,
why does it sound like a ringtone?
Because this is the original, Paul Marriott's original. You're thinking of the actual one from the movie.
So, you got like generations that are 10
this
to
guy
20.
wants to die. Look at him.
They don't know anything. They're like 10 to 20 times removed from, even more. It's like 1,000 years have passed. So generations that are basically tribes that are just surviving. Because I don't know if you know much of the world. Like Khorne? Khorne are like the ones that...
No, I don't know Khorne.
Khorne is like the god of war, basically, in Warhammer. Okay. And the saying's like blood for the... Blood throne? No,
what
blood for the blood god. He's chaos.
Oh, okay, right.
Skulls for the skull god or blood for the blood god.
Wait, did I see that in Space Marine 2 or not?
No, that was a different one. They're the red ones, basically.
Yeah, okay.
And so this realm that the story's based on is essentially, it's overrun by Khorne worshippers. Mm-hmm. They're basically just massacre everyone, cannibals, everything.
Khorne?
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. And they hunt the tribes.
Wait, so is he like one of those deity level?
He's one of the 4 gods of the Chaos Pantheon.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they hunt the surviving tribes for like sport and food and stuff like that.
Because he's referenced, right?
Sorry?
In the game, he is referenced, isn't he? Because they talk about the 4.
Yeah, I think they do, because they kind of just give you an idea, because they're,
Yeah.
I think I can't remember the first one, who the bad guys in that one were. But essentially, the story starts off with like these Khorne cultists fighting each other, and they're just having a brawl. And then they spot a tribe, and they start going after that tribe. And then essentially, what happens is, at the start of this book, there's been no opposing force of good against chaos in 1,000 years, and then all of a sudden, just like these mysterious soldiers just appear. And essentially, at the start, start and end is told from the perspective of this tribe person, and they're just trying to comprehend what they're seeing, because they don't understand, like, there's these soldiers that have just appeared out of nowhere, and they're actually pushing
comprehend
back.
what the Khorne soldiers are seeing.
Yeah, no. So
the locals can't comprehend what these new soldiers are.
Yeah, because they're just so used to seeing these people like Khorne just essentially overrunning everything and killing their family.
Like the Soviet Union.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And essentially just them standing there and watching this massive battle rage on, and they just can't like process it in their mind. And just being a person like that as an NPC standing there and watching.
So who was the faction? I don't care about what the story was.
It was Stormcast, because the Stormcast introduced as the first good faction in Age of Sigmar. Oh. This is not 40k. This is Age of Sigmar, fantasy one. So it's a battle essentially.
Was Khorne the guy that was originally good?
No.
He was always bad.
Yeah, so the one that was originally good was
you guys
Archeon.
got into Warhammer lore right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, sorry.
Archeon.
No, because I lost track of somewhere there. That's
So
why.
Archeon in Age of Sigmar was originally supposed to be the avatar of Sigmar. He's the god of the good guys, essentially. And he was his avatar. There's an avatar like every
that's
generation.
what I read up on. Yeah, okay.
And he got brainwashed by Chaos cultists, and then he essentially became the Grand Marshal of Chaos. And
Careful not to call him Grandmaster.
Yeah. And he's the one who pretty much destroyed the old world.
Grand Dragon.
Like, he won the entire war.
Oh, Grand Dragon, that's what I meant to say.
Dragon.
He spanked Sigmar in a one-on-one fight. Like, the dude's
So, wait, you're saying that you would go back to this? You would go to this universe?
just as an observer to see this battle going on, because like what the hell, like
it's something completely surreal,
beyond worlds, and like just standing there in awe, like what the hell is this? And then even when Stormcast win, because it's an introductory story, they come up to her because it's just one character, and she's like, she thinks she's dying, she's going to die instantly, and as soon as he takes his mask off, she sees that he's human with, you know, like,
I was going to say, you could say that about Independence Day, the original, with Will Smith.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be pretty, like, nuts, because it's based in modern day, but, you know, if you could be one of those NPCs on the building that gets blown up.
Yeah. But, like, seeing something that is always, like, a universal truth that these chaos fighters or chaos warriors always win, they always get what they want, they never fail, they kill everything, eat everything. You know, they really ham up the description of when they cannibalize people just to make you realize how bad they are. And then you just see this mysterious, like, group of soldiers who at the start, there's only like a couple hundred of them, and they're holding off like an entire host of thousands. And they die, and then you see a priest walk up to them, whisper something, and the guy just gets back up.
Oh, okay.
And it's like,
so it's
what
like
the
surreal.
hell? Yeah, it's like surreal, like beyond like universal, beyond like...
What happened to the Stormcast?
Beyond universal understanding of basic
what you
physics,
see,
concepts,
realms.
life.
Because you have to keep in mind, Chaos, in case you don't know...
No, don't. I don't know anything about Warhammer.
They're like realm-bending, you know, alternate time-bending people.
Well, so, yeah, you got 4 Chaos gods.
Yeah.
You've got Khorne, who's the god of war, essentially. You've got Nurgle, who's the god of pestilence and disease.
So they're just like the 4 horsemen.
Kind of. You've got
war, pestilence, famine, and death. They were the 4 horsemen.
Close. Then you've got Tzeentch, who's the god of like change and magic.
Okay.
And you got Slanesh, who's the god of excess.
God of excess?
Yes. So like,
is that like gluttony, sloth?
Like bondage, and like the actual warriors like it when they die. Because they're looking forward to being slashed and like, oh, they get off on
masochist,
it. Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
So they all kind of, each universe, like Warhammer 40k, it's a little bit different. With Sigmar, it's a little bit different as well, like just the way they came into things.
How old is the Warhammer lore?
I think the early 80s, 81, 82, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I
think originally it was Old World that was first, and then they pioneered a game called Rogue Trader, I think it was, and they had, it was supposed to be the future of the Old World, I think, and then they just took off, and then essentially they just created a whole sci-fi version. But going back to the Stormcast, like the whole point was, like, they were created to be the ultimate soldiers, because they would die and then they could come back to life. So it was like there was no like loss of fighting power. They just die and then they just bring them back.
Isn't that like Universal Soldier?
Kind of. I can't remember the story of that.
Pretty sure Universal Soldiers get regen.
Possibly, yeah. But the problem
isn't that kind of like a Space Marine?
Yeah, because there was a very heavy like connotations of like, well, these are just like Space Marines.
The OG.
It's like a 2.0 version of a Space Marine.
Did they have all those enhancements?
What do you mean Space Marine?
Well, these is a little bit different.
So the very commercial Warhammer that a lot of people have come to terms with is Space Marine now, like the games and stuff like that.
I just think of Doom when you say Marine.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same.
They're like 8 feet tall. 8 feet tall?
Yeah, in a way they're like massively engineered what used to be like a person into these massive monstrosities of humans.
Walking
like
tanks, 3 hearts, I think 5 lungs.
Yeah, they got like 18 different enhancements. They can breathe through poison and all this shit. And basically what I was saying is the relationship between these OG sort of...
That is Universal Soldier.
Yeah,
Universal Soldier's
probably.
like all modded?
Yes.
Because they can like have no threshold of pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were good movies.
So, like,
Yeah,
with the
no.
Space Marines, they don't have a fear of, like, just a normal dude, you know? Like, they have no fear,
Yeah, they
essentially.
have
just,
no fear,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
these are
die.
universal
Yeah.
soldiers. Okay.
So with the Stormcast, they were built to be the elite, like the best of, you know, what there is available, and it's a replaceable fighting force. But what it is, they are actually the reincarnations of soldiers and heroes and just people of faith that died in the old world. So as they were about to die, they kind of pledged like an
Fealty, like
oath or something to Sigma, and they escaped their moment of death.
Okay.
So just as they were about to be struck,
like penance right at the end.
so as they were struck, they just disappear.
Yeah. And get reincarnated
and
as
it's like
these-
1,000, 2,000 years later, and they've been recrafted into like same thing, 8-foot tall giants. But same thing as well in the Sigma world, because they're so rare to see. They're viewed as like an angelic force. But the problem with them is, they don't remember. Well, some of them do remember their past, and some of them are actual main characters in the old world. So they reference to that. But each time they die, they've found out that there's like a what do you call it? Like a fault in the crafting of them, because he couldn't perfect it and he had to rush them out. Essentially, every time they die, they lose a fraction of themselves.
Okay. They don't get weaker.
They don't get weaker. They lose a fraction of their mentality. You could
Do they
say
have any
their
memory
mind.
of like their previous?
Some of them do. Some of them don't.
Okay.
This sounds oddly familiar to the thing you sent me about how when they are on that last leg,
Yeah,
they
this
get
is
put into... Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh!
So essentially, if they die enough times, like there's a story in one of the, I think it's a book, one of the books. I haven't read it, but there's a
It's
story.
like that horrible, basically, torture where they reuse the last resort.
They keep reliving their deaths. It's like Destiny, basically. Every time
They're aware,
And we come back to Destiny.
but
it's
they're-
similar. Like they die, but they get brought back to life.
yeah, they're aware, they have awareness, but they've lost everything about themselves to a degree.
Okay.
So they're aware of like their existence, but they're dead. Like they're dead inside.
That's the end, basically. So what happens?
They're attached to like a machine, essentially.
Okay.
kind of. So when they die, they just explode in a ball of
Oh, so
lightning.
this is a bit different.
Yeah, they explode in a ball of lightning, and then they go straight, like they arc into the sky, and they get brought back to like the celestial realm where Sigma is, and he rebuilds them. And in that process
Is Sigma like one of those weird mecha dudes?
No, he was a man who just got so powerful he became a god,
Oh, okay, right,
Yeah.
okay.
and he saved basically mankind during the old world before Archeon came along.
Okay.
And he pretty much in the process of rebuilding them, something happens and they lose a fraction of their mortality, their mentality, what it is that made them. Okay, but what happens is, if it happens, some of them, it starts to manifest after 5 times that they die. Some of them after 20 or 30 times they die. That's how often they're going back into battle. And essentially, what happens to them by the end, they become a walking husk of what they were. And they call them like a lightning geist. Basically, they're just a ball of lightning inside. And one of the stories is they actually turned on a human city.
Wait, when you say a husk, do you mean as in they physically become weak, or they've just lost?
They still have everything about them, but they just don't have their mind.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they're a zombie.
So they become less human.
Yeah.
Human.
Yeah. And so pretty much there's a story of one of them, not one of them, an
Did you
entire...
see Gary yesterday? He's changed.
He's changed.
Just not
But
the same bloke.
they talk about
Why?
that in
What
some
did
of the
he
books. Yeah. Like some of the stories about
He
some
doesn't
of the
come down to
heroes.
the pub anymore. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
talk about the footy. What are you
Doesn't talk about it
talking
at all.
about?
Maybe he's being abused at home.
And these heroes will talk about this
Gary,
one.
how did you get that black eye? I don't want to talk about it.
I don't know.
I walked into a door.
Sorry.
Hi, Michelle. That's right, Gary. You did walk into the bloody door. And you're going to walk into it again today.
So
I'm going to go, guys.
You're the worst, man.
there's like main characters that have died too many times, where like other characters now are observing like he's not what he used to be. Like he's he's changed. So pretty much once that happens too many times, they turn, and there's a story of one entire faction that had like not like
You
a
stop. So you stop.
I'm listening to this.
I'm listening to him and you're chuckling. I'm hearing you.
I can see him shaking. I can feel the table moving, man.
So there's a story of an entire battalion that had all died too many times and basically turned on a civilian settlement, and they just massacred them all because they couldn't tell the difference between friend and foe. So they had to kind of like
Who's controlling all these?
this Sigma guy.
Okay, and hang on.
He's like a god.
Just
He's
to
a god, yeah.
cut to the chase. You would be, in this scenario, you'd just be an NPC watching all this shit go down.
Watching this specific battle going down because it'd be like
Would you have to be in any sort of cast of person or anything, or just literally
no,
a
it's
commoner?
just like this tribes person
I'm
who's just
asking
watching
you.
it. No, it's
You'd
just
be
this
just literally a base level NPC.
Oh, if I had to be someone, I'd be Gotrek, hands down.
Who's that?
He's the dwarf from the old world that literally is a slayer, and theirs is an oath of death. Basically, if they've done something that
Very
is-
violent visuals here.
Yes. Oh yeah,
It is.
Yes.
It's a very violent place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But his story is him and his
Age of Sigma, yeah.
companion is like this human guy, and there's a whole story of them, and essentially it's like 15 books, I think, and he just wants to die, but he can't just kill himself. He has to. His quest is to die gloriously in battle.
Oh, like Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. In the end of Old World, he pretty much just goes into a chaos gate, and you think that's it. That's the death he wanted, and he goes into this gate of chaos. He comes out 2,000 years later, and he's still alive. But he just can't die. He's just so like powerful.
Do you find out what he was doing for 2,000 years?
Killing chaos demons
Oh,
and monsters
fantastic.
and everything.
Yeah.
And the ones that did kill him, they brought him back to life so they could make him suffer.
Right.
And then he killed them anyway.
Okay, so you'd be in this scenario just watching this all play out.
Just like
Okay.
Or what happens if you knew you were going to be a casualty as a civilian?
oh no, I'm out of there.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought so.
Go.
There's an actual.
He's just sitting there eating popcorn. You're about to die. No.
No.
I want to be one of the soldiers.
There's a Skaven rat, the Skaven, which are the rat faction in the old world. One of them was called, I can't remember his name, but basically his mortal nemesis is this Gotrek guy. And I think they come face to face a couple times. And the book is told from his narrative, and he's like, oh, I got to get my nemesis back, this, and that. Finally, the climactic battle, they come face to face with this Gotrek and Felix.
Right.
And he does his whole monologue speech in front of him, and like, I'm going to finally get you. And they're just looking at him like, why is this rat talking to us? Like, they don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
And he's come to blows with them like 10 times, and they don't know who he is.
Foolish creature. Hey everyone, if you've made it this far and you haven't already, please subscribe to our Spotify, YouTube and social media accounts. For every like you give our posts, a little Tibetan boy gets a new pair of Jordans. Don't forget to comment and let us know just how we're disappointing you. And now back to the episode.
You know,
Who's this?
I don't understand why they haven't made. Maybe they have, but I don't understand why they haven't made like a full animated series on this.
Oh, what?
Warhammer.
As in the IP itself.
Well, because it was very niche. Very, very niche.
But it's niche because people don't even know it exists.
yeah.
Because there's so much trash on TV.
Yeah, but you can say that about so many different IPs where you think, fuck, this would be a great movie or
But
a
there's
series.
so much lore that they could build
No,
on.
of course there is. But there's so
The
many series like that, dude.
Yeah, but they're all shit.
The
course
lore,
they are.
The lore in 40k is probably the best lore in the world. I think it even like beats
Just-
like Lord of the Rings.
Just remember
You know
one
what?
thing.
I'm getting that vibe, honestly.
I'm just going to say
yeah.
one thing. Every time mainstream media picks up an IP,
They ruin it.
nine times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, they fuck it right beyond recognition.
Yeah, that's true.
They piss off the original fans. The new fans don't get it. You know what I mean? And they've watered it down so badly from the original product, no one gives a shit.
That's true.
I think the main reason is two things. One is pre-COVID, it was pretty big, but during COVID, it picked up a lot of momentum because people got into it
Hobbies, yeah.
as hobbies because there was nothing to do. And two, Henry Cavill has gotten on board now, and he's a big name, and he's brought it to
He
the
talks a
forefront.
lot about it,
Talks
yeah.
a lot about it. He loves it. And the other one is Games Workshop as a company is terrible as far as like
Doing anything?
Marketing.
marketing their product.
Yeah.
They have the worst customer service that you could expect. Like, I'm talking head office stuff, just as far as like
John's
what
on a
they do.
first name basis with all of them, yeah?
I am.
Yeah, put me through to Gerald, thanks.
I
Gerald's
haven't
in
got
a
time
meeting
to
right
talk.
now. I'm the meeting.
Yeah.
I haven't got time. Listen.
Yeah, and essentially, like, if it wasn't, they're their own worst enemy as far as getting
Yeah.
stuff done for their company. They get terrible companies to make video games for them. And then
Where are they originated from?
UK.
Oh, okay.
It's always been an English company.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hang on. What would you do?
For what?
This scenario, where if you could live in any universe as an NPC.
I was trying to quickly think of 4,000
God forbid
different...
if you say something like Destiny, I'm going to cry.
Destiny, how did I not think of that? Zavala.
Look at him, he's trying not to say it, just to annoy
There's
me.
a ghost for the main character in Destiny.
Why would you want to be the ghost?
He didn't have to do anything. He's just floating there, observing everything.
I am the Oracle. That's great, mate.
You know I was in Game of Thrones. Shut up! Shut up!
Chris Tucker in Fifth Element. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I was trying to toss up.
Do you know who the best character in Fifth Element is?
Who?
Malak always rings him up. Give me the cash!
I actually wouldn't mind going back and watching that.
I know.
It's
great
been
movie,
a
yeah.
long time.
All right.
So I thought Terminator.
What, as what, though? As
Well,
like someone in the rebellion, John Connor.
Yeah, like in the Rebellion.
Okay.
Sarah-
Not John Connor, someone behind him.
Sarah
Yeah. Someone in the background that's not too obvious and sort of blends in, but has a necessary part.
That little kid in the opening intro.
They need to stay alive for the plot to develop.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking like X-Men, like animated series wise, would be pretty cool. Like during the apocalypse, Sentinels, all that stuff. That would be pretty cool.
As a sentinel?
As a Sentinel, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Or as Cyclops, because as a kid I always liked Cyclops. Bang, Jean Grey. And then I thought, okay, well, actually, recent examples would be, I think the Witcher universe would be really sick to be in on.
Doesn't everyone die in that universe?
Absolutely. But it's like old, gothic, it's got its charm, monsters, quests, you're doing these like, pay me for services and I'll go out and kill. It's it's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And whores and all that.
Well, that's your trifecta there. Killing
potions
whores and quests.
I think those would be like my top 3 ideas. I didn't settle on which one, but those were my top 3.
Skyrim would be pretty cool, don't you reckon?
Skyrim could be, yeah. Could
As
be.
the main character?
A little bit too vast, I think. A little bit too open.
Okay.
There's a lot of dead space in between things.
I would put, you know what I would put? Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, yeah, could be
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Just because it's really, like, I love Hong Kong, I love that environment, but just being the undercover guy, getting into fights for both sides.
But
of
you
the
can do that
fence.
now.
No, you can't.
Just go to Hong Kong. Hey, I want to get in the gang.
Somehow I speak fluent, Mandarin.
Ching Chong Chang. Oh, come on in.
You are such an idiot. You are such an idiot. But like the whole vibe of like running through buildings and like the battles using the environment, all that sort of
That
thing.
was such a good game.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I'll tell you what. If the 3 of us could be in the one thing, I'd pick like a battlefield or environment or something like that.
Like what?
No, like a battlefield. Like literally.
Fortnite.
Huh?
Are you talking about like Battle Arena?
No, battlefield.
Three
as
Musketeers.
in, like-
Three Musketeers.
No, wait, do you mean
No,
do you mean
Battlefield.
Battlefield as in the game Battlefield?
Yeah, the game.
Oh, okay.
Which one? World War II? What was number 4? The one on PS3?
I'd go like 1942.
What was the one on PS3?
PS3. The one, Battlefield 4.
No, not
No.
Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
No, Battlefield 1 was on PS4.
Yeah.
Battlefield it was the last one before Battlefield 1.
Yeah, Battlefield 4.
Yeah, what was it called? What was the actual tag?
Just
of the
4.
game? Yeah, but
I thought it had a name as
it
well.
had a name, you dick. Hang on.
Oh, the SWAT one.
Yes.
The one they did was like domestic. Like,
Yeah, they tried to copy someone at the time.
it was like Cops and Robbers one.
Yeah,
That didn't
it
work.
had a name.
Battlefield.
Surely it had a name. I'm always
I thought
positive.
it did too.
And that was the one that had. That was a good game. Just didn't have any
Hardline?
hardline.
Hardline,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
That was a successor to Battlefield
Yes.
4.
Yeah,
Hardline.
yeah.
That's
No,
the one
I
I
do
had.
1942.
Which one was that?
I think that was Vietnam.
No, it
It's
can't
going to be 42 for
42 World War
Vietnam.
II was still going. 42 is still World War II.
Wait, what was 42 then?
For World War II.
World War II. That was the first Battlefield, wasn't it? And
Was
then
it?
it was
Battlefield 1
Battlefield-
was World War 1. Battlefield Vietnam, wasn't that a game?
I don't know if they had a Vietnam.
Battlefield 1 was World War 1. I remember that because that's the one I played the most out of all of them.
Battlefield 1, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's World War 1.
The amount of footage I have saved on my PS4 of me, him, and Goldfarb, and even Orage, is just like gigs and gigs and gigs.
Of what?
Of just like hilarious stuff, like just crazy, outlandish stuff.
There's one I still have saved where we're in Battlefield 1. It was that mansion one. Remember the big mansion in the middle? Yeah, and I've come up from behind. Half of us were split on the teams, and I've just come out of nowhere because I was the medic. I never played it because I had shit accuracy. So, but I've just come out of nowhere and bludgeoned Goldfarb to death. And they're like, "Oh my god, I'm dead! It's Tim!" I've just started laughing. We're just beating him.
Yeah, see how amazing would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Oh, yeah, one of us would be dead in about 30 seconds. The other two would
you
be
come and you get revived. You come and res us. Yeah. You come and get res. There's like, there was one video I saved. Goldfarb had shot, it was that one with the desert and the train was by the side of it. Yeah. And then essentially, it's just a cluster in the middle.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And he had shot someone, because we used to teabag everyone. So we go over and we're teabagging this guy. And all of a sudden, like, he's just going up, down. There's a fence there, and he actually gets headshotted as he goes back up. Yeah. So someone had picked him off as he was teabagging. It was just like,
that's
just
awesome.
gold moments like that. Parachuting out of a plane into a top level of, like, a bell tower where there's a sniper there, and he's just like...
Yeah.
That's a good game. I really hope they don't fuck up the next Battlefield.
Oh, they are.
They are?
Yeah.
They've said that they've learnt their lesson.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Another scenario I said was Prohibition era USA.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah. And
That's what?
That's what I was torn between. Whether a bootlegger from the South running booze between New York and the South.
Eddie Murphy and Martin Short.
Yeah, like that sort of shit. Or living in like Hoboken, New York somewhere. Like during that era.
I think New York would be... Yeah, it's been interesting because if you're doing the run from the South to up, it'd be a lot more like Southern culture. Whereas if you're doing like New York, that's like more...
Yeah, so but like I'd be doing it from the viewpoint of like being in the business but not being in organised crime, but just being affiliated in organised crime where you're under the radar, you're making some money, but you're still enjoying the perks of having an illegal business. Does that make sense? I don't know. I didn't think too deeply, but it's just something that
the cop that hands the case reports to Nathan Fillion in Castle every episode. Just the cop there. You know what's going on.
Why?
Because I'm observing.
You're observing.
I thought maybe you'd go someone in the Shawshank prison.
I was going to say County Monte Cristo, Edmond Dantes.
Edmond Dantes, which one was he?
He's the main character. It's a revenge plot. You still haven't watched it, have you? You downloaded it, but you didn't watch it.
I downloaded it and never watched it.
Should watch it.
I watched Princess Bride, man, one at a time.
When did you watch it? Last year.
I did.
Slow down.
I don't think I'd moved yet. I'm trying to remember
I
when I
watched
watched
it nine times since
Shawshank was on TV the other day.
Oh, was it?
I died. I couldn't stop laughing. I was trying to get a photo of the ad before it finished, but I can get my phone out in time.
I could probably tell you exactly what scene that was too, just by like the landscape shot.
Speaking of TV,
yes,
Snow White.
Oh, yes.
Have you been reading the reviews, watching them?
Oh, yeah.
I went through the rabbit hole. I found myself binging them. It's so bad.
So the reviews are fantastic, according to the critics. They're all like, fine to return to form.
Oh, of course, that
what
beautiful
return
sentence.
To form?
Oh, that was AC. Sorry, that was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. That was the
same.
That trans scene that you sent just shook me, man. Why would they? Why? Like, why? Like, I can't remember what I was watching, but they were just like this extreme left crap that's going on. They're changing all the IPs, all the major media things to cater for like a very, very, very small niche of the market. Then they're wondering why it's gone bust.
Mm-hmm. But they refuse to, and then they just blame the people. Well, it's because they're well, no, we don't want to watch that, so why should we watch it?
But that's you have the freedom of choice. Yeah. There's so many things you can stream.
That's what happened with Doctor Who. Like the latest one was like, they said, do not make this. It's going to flop hard. Oh, what do you know? You're just toxic. Okay. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch. All right, fine, we won't. And then it flopped hard to the fact now they're saying they're going to cancel it.
What was it? The longest running
TV show in history.
Yeah,
like 60 years or something. And now they're just going to cancel it straight up because those toxic people weren't watching it. Well, we told you don't make it. We're not going to watch it.
See, the thing is, like, this is what I don't understand, right?
And you saw why the main character quit as well, right?
No.
because he was saying that he didn't want his name to be like besmirched from how bad the show was.
Really?
He
Even
didn't
though
want,
he was
he
the
didn't
one
want
that-
it to affect his future acting
His career.
roles. Yeah.
This is what I was thinking about. You know, with Gene Hackman passing away, I was watching birdcage scenes, like, non-stop. Like, I went on a Gene Hackman binge. I was just watching different scenes from his movies. And I was watching the birdcage scenes. And I like, man, this is such a good movie. Like, Birdcage is legit.
Brilliant.
Nathan Lane, Gene Hackman, Robin Williams, Hank Azaria. There's so many cool, like, scenes in it, right? It's just hilarious. The whole movie is about two gay dudes that own a freaking drag club. It's hilarious. And that movie came out in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
where-
I always had Birdcage as one of my all-time favorites.
And that movie was in the 90s where it was still, like, not taboo, but, like, you know, it wasn't as progressive as it is now. Funny as fuck movie. No one's going to complain. This is the premise
You
of
know
the
what,
movie.
though? They probably find something to cancel it over.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. In this day and age,
But what I'm saying is that's the premise of the movie. This guy's son wants to marry the daughter of a senator, you know, who's running for election for president, and it's going to come out that his parents are gay and blah, 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 blah. Funny as fuck. I didn't have a problem with it. No one had a problem with it. It was considered a classic movie from the 90s.
But loved by all.
Exactly. Why shoehorn something in every single element and take IPs that are just creating new IP? Create the IP and we'll appreciate it for whatever it is if it's got quality behind it. But why? Like with Shadows. I mean, what was the premise? I know you didn't really explain it, but the guy... Okay, so
Assassin's Creed games in the past, all right, historically, every single Assassin's Creed game that's come out has been based in a historical setting,
Yeah.
okay? So the first one was based during the Crusade. You travelled from Jerusalem to Akka to Damascus to all these other towns and this and that. It's a bit glitchy because it was the first game, but it was a good game.
No, it was bound by its technological limitations at the time.
Story-wise, it was based in the future, modern-day setting. But what it was they would find, like, a person, and through their genetics, their DNA ancestry, they could access memories from their...
Past
memories from their ancestors.
past ancestors, yeah.
So it had a sci-fi twist, but the historical aspect of it was they tried to make it as accurate as possible in every way you can believe, okay? So other than the modern-day setting, which was based on sci-fi, everything else, when it came to the historical aspect, the buildings were there, the linguistics was there, as the games went on, they they made cultural things,
and it was
obvious,
so accurate to the point when what was the thing that burnt down in France?
Notre Dame.
The Notre Dame, yeah.
Oh,
when that burnt down, they contacted the Assassins developers because they had literally mapped
For the Paris game.
geo-mapped the whole freaking Notre Dame
To rebuild.
So
yeah.
the second one was based in Italy, and it was a trilogy, okay, of the same character, and it was Florence and Rome and I can't remember Pisa. I can't remember the towns, but there was a whole bunch. Then the third one one was based in America during the Revolution, I think it was, and you played a Native American because you're the son of a British officer who had a baby with a native. Okay,
yep. I never saw that one.
It was okay. I didn't really. I played it.
I
but
never heard of that.
I never finished that one.
Yeah.
And then they did a couple like side ones where like you played like other characters that were side characters in some of the
Like DLCs almost.
Yeah, kind of like just like you played like a dude who was one of your companions in I think the third
Enzo,
one.
whatever it was called.
He was the main character in the trilogy, but I think you played like this black dude who was I think Enzo's companion or in the third one's companion, and then you play this.
I can't remember.
That was side ones. They weren't like main story.
And they were all linear as shit.
Yeah, but there was open world, but there was a story that was linear. Then there was Black Flag.
Yeah.
No, there was the Paris one.
Was there?
Yeah. Then I think it was Black Flag.
No, Black Flag was 4.
Was it?
It doesn't matter. Let's look.
So there was the Paris one, Black Flag. Then they did the British one.
And just milestone here. So Black Flag, not only probably one of the best Assassin's Creeds there is,
but not because of the Assassin's Creed part.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it also opened the world up a lot.
With the ships, yeah?
Yeah. And from that like really linear story with very few side things to do, Black Flag like really gave you that
They must have
points
discovered
of
something,
interest.
the
Every so
technology.
often. Yeah, exactly. They really opened the
So
doors
then
to
there was
it.
Origins after that, was it? No, then there was the British
no.
one, Syndicate,
Yeah, Syndicate.
and then Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's set in Egypt.
Yeah,
Play the
and
Bedouin,
then Odyssey, and then Ragnarok, and now Shadows.
Ragnarok. Then there was
Valhalla, sorry,
Valhalla, and then there was that other one in Iraq that you didn't even know about that I brought up.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Which was supposed to actually came out, was supposed to be a DLC to Valhalla.
And then I think there was another smaller game again.
They even did like a trilogy of like side scrollers, kind of like old
Yeah.
Prince of Persia style.
Yeah.
And one was Russia, one was I think was Japan or
Yes.
China, and another one was I can't remember what the third one was. I think it was like Iraq or India. I think it was India. And they were just side scrollers, kind of shadow assassin style.
And just keep in mind too, like in every single game, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but in every single game, I think they've really struggled. Like you can call the games and the stories and all that fine, but they've really struggled to implement that animus, that technology part.
the story-
It's just been shit.
Well, it was because of what happened in the trilogy.
I guess.
I find with the modern day, because there's two stories going on. You've got the story that's based in the past, historically.
Yeah, and then
there's
Layla, whatever her name is.
Yeah, and then in the modern world, you're like, there's that story. And I think they essentially, after the trilogy, they just did away with it and they just put you as a nobody who's just in it.
Yeah,
but then they kind of developed on it during this trilogy, this new one, Valhalla and that. But
Valhalla was so bad.
yeah, it was. I played it and
I can't understand how they. Anyway.
Just because
so
it looks
bad.
pretty doesn't mean it's a good game.
It didn't even look that good. It didn't look anywhere near Odyssey.
Well, they're saying like Shadows is a beautiful game. Like, yeah, so what? What's the story like? Is it good? Is it crap? What is it?
I think we know what it is.
Yeah, I tried playing. I tried playing. What was the one where with the hacking? It was a Ubisoft game
What?
where you're a hacker.
Oh, Watch Dogs.
I tried playing the second one. The story's crap. I just put it down and uninstalled
I didn't
it.
mind the first one.
First
but
one was
I think,
okay.
I think it was because it was new. It was a new
Yeah,
IP,
yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
okay, different, not bad. But the second one was terrible.
So historically, every Assassin's Creed game,
Mind you, I think the second one was made to be terrible. I know it sounds stupid, it's
possible,
but you never got attached to a character because there was no singular character.
Yeah.
You were every character.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you build an
that's the
attachment?
third one. You mean?
No, that was the second one.
you could say, you could say
Watch
that about
Dogs.
Grand Theft Auto 5. There was 3 characters, but you could still build attachments.
Yeah,
to
but
all
we're
of them.
talking about like the whole world of characters.
Okay.
Not just 3. Like, fair enough, you can pick 3.
I think you're talking about the third Watch Dogs.
Was that Legion?
Yeah, that's the one when you can pick anyone and then they all have different
Oh,
skills.
yeah, that one was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't even play. I didn't even touch it. The second one I tried playing and I was like, this was at the initial start of all this DEI.
Were you
crap
still
and all
the guy character?
Yeah,
In that,
yeah.
The same guy?
that. No, it's a completely different
Okay.
character.
Nevertheless.
But nevertheless, so historically, in every Assassin's Creed game, the main character is not a real person in history.
But he's attached to events from real history.
Kind of, yes.
Or whatever the IP is.
Yeah.
Like in Odyssey, it's not a real person,
No.
but everything around him is
They're all like historical
historically
characters.
either historical characters
Yeah.
or whatever.
You are implementing yourself into history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Think of it.
So, like, in the trilogy...
Which effectively is what this whole thing about living in a universe.
Exactly,
thing.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, like, in the original one, I can't remember his name.
Well, take Odyssey, for example, right?
Mm.
Look at the game Odyssey. You play as, what's his name? Alexios. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah.
He travels through all of ancient Greece. All the monuments and shit, all there. And a lot of the battles and historical characters are all there.
Yeah.
He's just thrown into the mix. And like I was saying...
You become the hero of history.
Yeah.
But history remains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, and I was saying this before. Remember, I sent you guys a voice message the other day. I'm like, in the game, whether you choose to play as a male or the female, the story's going to be different with your different outcomes, but everything still remains the same. Same choices. You can have same-sex relations, you still get drunk, you still fight, you still do all the same shit. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So, the interesting...
I liked Odyssey a lot.
Odyssey was great, man.
It was
I
a great
100%ed it.
And I'm not saying that from my background.
No.
I'm saying it as it had a sense of humor. It had a lot of things to do, a lot of interesting points, and it was different points of interest. It wasn't always the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you're going to have a few,
because
but
the scope of the game was
it
massive.
became quite, it was just huge.
Dude, I 100%ed, what's it called?
Odyssey.
Origins. And no. I 100%ed Odyssey and I 100%ed the Japanese one. What's it called?
Ghost.
Tsushima.
Ghost, yeah.
I have to replay that.
Because Ghost,
I'm thinking about
Ghost
getting back
was
into it,
such an interesting concept too, because you're like literally like a merc,
Yeah.
in a historical setting.
Yeah. I haven't liked an Assassin's Creed since basically Black Flag.
Yeah,
I haven't
same.
enjoyed
You didn't like Odyssey?
No, I didn't like it.
Oh.
I didn't
I
like
loved
it at all.
Origins too. Origins,
Because there's actually nothing new in those games. All that stuff was already in the Part 2 trilogy.
okay, anyway. We're getting
So
sidetracked.
they're not really innovating anything. It's
They
just the
didn't
same
implement
stuff. All
new-
they've done once they discovered
Yeah.
how to create bigger worlds, they've just created bigger worlds.
doubled down
and
on
created
bigger worlds,
bloat.
yeah.
But all the aspect of the bodyguards, all the the shipping stuff, that was all in Black Flags and in the two trilogies.
That's why I said, like,
trilogy.
Black Flag set a milestone
Yeah.
change for
sure.
the whole name.
Yeah.
And like, they should have understood that the love of shipbuilding and maintaining and upgrading was such a monumental change in all gaming. So why pivot so hard to be like, well, let's just make huge worlds with copy-pasted points of interest?
Because it's just an easy rinse and repeat.
It is, but it's just, it lacks so much substance.
Yes, but that is literally the formula of everything. Look at the Marvel movies. Rinse and repeat every single
And they
one.
all flop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you look at Marvel Rivals, and that's done very well.
Anyway.
So, the first character in the first one, he's not a real character, but like the
No,
Assassin...
we're talking about Shadows now.
No, I'm talking about Assassin's Creed 1. So, no, this is context. This is context because this all comes into
Let
it.
him cook.
Just let me cook.
Let him cook.
This is going to come out perfect. A well done steak. Not well done. Nice medium rare.
I was about to say, hang on a second.
It's a figure of speech.
I'm waiting for the end of it. It's like, send it back.
Yeah.
It's overcooked.
overcooked.
Turkey's a little dry.
Salt, it's a little dry.
So basically, the main character in 1 was not a real person. Everything else was real. The characters were real. The actual Assassin's Guild was real. The Templars were real because the Templars was a military organization. Like, everything is real except for the main
It was
character.
effectively a bank by the end of it.
Essentially, yeah. And that's...
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry to cut you off. I was thinking about what universe I'd put all you guys in. You, straight away, Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh, you reckon?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
In what way?
Oh, just
Oh, the
there.
leprosy.
No, just there as like one of the Templars or like one of the priests in the background or
God
something.
wills it.
Yeah.
I love that they had
It's
it.
just God wills it. And just being there watching the two interact. And
The thing that kills about that scene is they just have to yell that and that shuts them up. Like, the guy's trying to make a proper argument as to why they shouldn't go to war. He's like,
God wills it.
All right, well, I guess we're going to go now. But the hand is like, oh. So then in the second one,
Wait, what was the second one?
That was the first one I had for you. What was the second one? I came off one for you as well. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. It was something so stupid, man. Something based in Japan, something in anime. I can't remember. It was something dumb, though.
One Piece. One Piece would be pretty cool.
Anyway, all right.
Continue.
Okay, so in the second Assassin's
So we're
Creed,
basting right now.
we're basting.
We're 47 minutes into this, and we're on Assassin's Creed 2. Of what, 7?
So in the second
I'm
one,
going to call for a pizza.
you play Ezio Auditore. All right, he's an Italian noble who's not a real person in history at all. Not real at all.
I'm sure he existed.
But the nemesis, who's Borgia, is a real person. He became a pope, everything. Like, he's a real person.
Uh-huh.
So they use historical figures as villains and also companions. Da Vinci creates stuff for you in the second one.
Oh,
I do remember that.
I've
yeah.
never played the first ones. I've seen some of them at your house.
Yeah.
When we were in high school.
Like I've told you, I have part 2 of the trilogy on disc because I got it when I bought Odyssey. I will give it to you, and you should play it.
Is it remastered?
Remastered.
Is it playable, though?
It's 100% playable. And
Why is he shaking his head?
Why not?
I can't. I tried. I can't.
I can't go back to old.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Unless-
Great game, but hard.
Dude, unless I'm playing
But
on
that's
like...
why it was good.
No, but see, you know what, man?
Because
Unless I'm playing on the limitations of the system and I'm playing something like, like I plug in my Mega Drive because I want to play Streets of Rage as it is.
On like a 13-inch CRT.
Yeah, I can accept that because I love it, right?
Well, I'll give you the original trilogy. You got a PS3.
Fight Night Champion on PS3 still holds up today.
Yeah.
It's graphically kicks the shit out of the latest ones that they've done, right? When you play like going back to, say, Grand Theft Auto 3, and you've got the tank controls and all that, it's like, man, I could just put 5 in, and it's the best experience ever. I can't go back.
But the story in this one is infinitely better than everything else they've made.
It's
just for the story. No, it's...
My issue was the fluidity of climbing and stuff.
Yes, that was...
It hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
It
That
hurt
was
me
a
a
little
lot.
bit difficult, yeah.
It hurt me a lot. Like, the one thing I grant, like, yes, we hate Ubisoft and all that, but obviously they have a talented team of developers that can make games, and they make them quite fluid. When you climb, even in Odyssey, it feels fucking great.
There's no like, oh man, what the hell? Like,
You do get stuck a little bit into...
I think before Black Flag, I've tried 1, 2, 3, and I struggled to play because of the climbing.
Yeah. And you can't say it's not a main aspect of the
Well,
game.
I have the original trilogy on as a PS4 remake, and I have the original ones on PS3.
I'll
You can
play
take either one. I'm serious. Like, if you want to play...
He boots up, jumps onto a ledge, changes
Throw
this,
it out my window off the 15th floor.
goes down to 2,
Your discs are trash. I did you a favour.
I'm going to try 200% Odyssey.
So, there's no one rule there, okay? Then in the third one...
170 hours for spite.
Pretty much the story is that no matter which AC you play, the main character is never a real person. It's always
Yeah.
the villains and the side companions are real. So with Origin, I don't know about Origins if there was anyone real in that other than like...
Yeah, Caesar.
I never got
Caesar,
that far.
Cleopatra, like all of them.
Are they actually in it?
Yes.
Oh, Cleopatra's in it. I remember that.
Cleopatra's in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I remember.
Her brother, what's his name? Ptolemy?
Okay.
Yeah,
I never played that. I never got that
I never
far.
played it either, that one.
I only got up to like Cleopatra.
I didn't 100% it, but I did get very far in
Yeah.
it. Finished the main story.
Second one, you got your historical characters as far as Greek world. Then the third one, you're going to have like the Viking kings there that are real. Now with Shadows, the issue here is the main character is a historical character. They've purposefully chosen to insert a historical character as the main protagonist in the first time in any Assassin's Creed game, which is like mind-blowing because it's 100%.
She's fiction, though, isn't she?
Who the ninja?
No
kid?
way, yeah.
I think so.
I think she was made up.
Yeah. And so then you've got like a female character that is 100%, a real character in history. Nobunaga's sister. Apparently, she gave birth to like there's a chain of like historically 18 emperors came through her birth line, and now you got this character that is banging her.
Maybe. It's a choice.
No, it's either one. And the thing is, it's like
No,
in the
but
past,
there's two paths. You can bang the sister,
Oh, is there? Or you can just bang everyone.
or I think,
Yeah.
or you can bang the trans thing.
The funny thing is, you never had the choice of banging anyone because they actually had love interests in the games. It's only up until Origins.
Oh,
they
you mean
started-
assassins?
Yeah.
Of course you have love interests. It's up to you to flirt with them or not.
No, originally, as part of the storytelling in all AC games, it was a linear love interest.
Ah, that follows through.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
like this is the character he ended up with.
Okay.
It was only up until the newer ones. Now I think Odyssey they started introducing this.
Yeah, actually, no, hang on, wait. In Origins, you have your wife.
Yeah,
And
that's what it was like in every
you
AC
follow the
game.
wife all the way through, basically.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
like a few other like previous lovers and
Yeah.
shit that pop up in the story, but you never fuck off with them. It's
Yeah.
always like you're obsessed with your wife the entire time.
Because the whole point was these games were like you're experiencing a linear story. The whole point is it's like you can't kill a civilian because that person never killed a civilian.
Yeah.
But now you give them the choice to bang everyone. Like how does that work?
Okay, so in the one, so the character that they've got in Shadows is a black slave who they've turned into a samurai.
Yes. Who was historically just a freak show for what's his
Being
name?
the
Nobunaga.
dark one, he amuses me.
Yeah, essentially that was it. It's
Oda
like look at this
Nobunaga.
big black man. He he's
It was more like a jester.
yeah.
Like for entertainment, you're interesting. I'm going to take you from the Europeans and I'm going to make you my own because you're different color.
Tokugawa, that's the name. He
Okay.
asked to Tokugawa.
And they turned him into a samurai,
They turned him into a samurai.
which he never was.
No.
Okay. And through him, they've also got the trans... Who's the trans character?
I can't figure out who it is. I don't think. I think that's fiction.
That's fiction. So the problem with Shadows, all right, so for the first time, the problem isn't that they're using a real-life character as the...
Mine is, yes.
Hang on. It's not the issue of them using a real life character as a protagonist. It's the fact that they're changing the story of the real life character to something to match the narrative of DEI bullshit to please the niche. Basically, this is the problem, right? This is the way I see it. If you look at all the games that came before Shadows, right? They took a historical setting, spent hours and days and weeks and months scouring the lore of it to recreate it. Let's create a story that snakes
down
through
to detail.
Yeah, let's snake through this story because it's a great story. Let's create side quests. Let's find all the historical references and characters and real life people and find a way to have our protagonist snake through.
Make it relevant to that time, not our time.
Let's say it's following let's say if you had Helen of Troy as a time era. We have the horse, we have the Trojans, we have this, we have that. We create a fake character to be next to Helen of Troy or the other side, and you're in the horse itself, right?
Yeah.
Cool. The problem with Shadows is they took the time to scour Japanese history. It's feudal Japan, right?
Yeah.
They took the time to scour feudal Japan and create, rather than create a fake protagonist to drive through the narrative of that era, they took a real protagonist and turned him into something that he wasn't, just to fit the narrative of a heroic black man in that era. They could have made a black man that was completely fake and fictional and had him fit
People still crack the sads.
They'd crack the sads because it's completely out of context. It's like, dude, this would never have happened in a million years, where the other ones were historically accurate to the time period. But rather than do that, they're like, someone late at night in the offices of the Ubisoft offices, is on Wikipedia just scrolling with one eye, and he's knocked over a whole slab of Monster and Mountain Dew. It's like, oh my god, I found it! And then he calls up his boss. Boss, you're never gonna get this. I found a black man in feudal Japan. What are you talking about? It's like, here, he was a sideshow freak. Nah. He's going to be a samurai. You know what I mean? And we're going to get him to hook up with a trans woman. What do you mean?
But the thing is, they didn't even do their due diligence as far as research either, because they've been there's so many videos that are coming out from Japanese streamers, Japanese YouTubers, where they're examining iconography and the aesthetics of what they're doing for cosmetics. And it's this icon here is literally the icon that Zoro has in One Piece. This here is not Japanese, it's Chinese. This here is a Chinese dragon. This here is Chinese. This isn't Japanese at all. This is all Chinese you'll see here. It's they haven't done their research into it. It's just Asian aesthetics. But then there's Japanese aesthetics and there's Chinese aesthetics.
Yeah,
and
they're two different things.
It's two completely different things. And it's why are you using those colours? Those aren't Japanese colours. These are Chinese colours.
I think one of the other big problems with it is that
Sorry, I just pictured Leonidas at 300 just marching in on a horse with a big German World War I helmet.
Exactly.
Why?
In the Assassin's Creed, the French one, Napoleon's actually one of your friends at the start.
Yeah.
And right up until the end, then it turns, and I think they were getting it ready for DLC, but because it did so bad, they didn't end up making it. But he gets the apple. And then it's he conquers all of Europe, most of Europe. So that would have been a DLC. The corruption gets to him. So they've got the characters there, but I don't know. It's just
that's what I was saying on text as well, that they didn't actually give you a conclusion to the game because they're going to literally just patch it in.
Which one was
DLC
this?
With Shadows.
Oh, okay. They don't give you a conclusion.
Apparently, you don't get a conclusion.
Oh, you didn't finish it.
What?
The game? Did you finish the game?
No, I haven't played. I'm not playing this shit.
Oh, okay.
But from what I've heard, people that finished it, they said there's no real conclusion because they're leaving the door open so that you can buy a DLC to finish the story. It's not a DLC for extra content. It's a DLC to continue the story.
Yeah, that's not right. Yeah.
If you want to see how a product goes from success to death, you watch the life story of Assassin's Creed games. And if you want to see how a company is going to be picked clean of its bones, you watch the rise and fall of Ubisoft.
Well, look at Disney.
Yeah. They're at least trying to steer the oars back to somewhat.
Yeah, but they buried it. They went the last 2 years.
Every established IP that was a like a money-making cow for them has all been destroyed. And
Well, they ruined the lore of Star Wars. They made basically Anakin Skywalker and all that obsolete. Like, useless. Anything that was special about him, all worthless.
Two of the biggest IPs, Marvel and every Marvel, everything that falls under Marvel and Star Wars, they've ruined both.
Captain America, the new one, has launched to be the third worst Marvel launch out of all the Marvel movie launches.
I told you guys last time we were here, I saw like a couple of clips of the new Captain America, and it was all like just black shaming.
But that's not storytelling. That's just like...
Would you see with the Snow White thing?
Yeah.
Have you watched any of those reviews? I've watched like a bunch of them.
I watched the one he sent.
They all basically said...
No.
The
angry critic?
No, I didn't send
or whatever?
Oh, the drinker.
The critical drinker?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever sent that, I saw that one.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of them all in the same sort of vein. And it was just like, they got rid of the Prince character because the only way to build up a woman is to make a defeated, shitty man. So they made him a bandit. You know what I mean? So he's a lowly thief, basically, because that's the only way to make her rise above, you know, any. It's like, you're ruining everything that came from the first one. You know what I mean? And it makes no sense. The first one was based on a book. Like, you're just fucking it up.
Instead of like making her like overly feminine, they made her like a bit more strong-willed and masculine. Like the example of the bird, you know, she's got the little sparrow thing on her finger, and now she's got like a massive crow on her arm. It's like, really?
That's funny. It's just fucked because like everything that she was meant to be a fair feminine character, because when the evil queen would ask who is the fairest of them all, it was meant to be about a delicate feminine beauty and the fact that everyone can, she's so fair that everyone just falls in love with her, like, you know, encapsulated by her charisma and her charm, and she's just, you know, animals literally crawl up to her. Enter, what's her name?
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah. Where she's like this girl boss. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't look feminine. Like, you've broken the entire, thing. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, they've ruined everything. You ruined everything. But the unfortunate thing is you're still going to have generations of young kids, because it's Disney. They're going to watch it and they're going to be exposed to it, and they're going to think that's a good Disney movie.
Nah.
This is
young
Pixar's,
kids,
Pixar's time to shine.
I know. I mean, I grew up watching the Super Mario Brothers. I loved it. Turns out it was a crap film.
Oh, yeah, all right.
As a child, you don't know any better.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Because you can still pick shitty movies as a kid.
You can pick things you don't
Have
like.
you seen the things these kids watch as like a 2 and 5 year old?
Now?
They just literally just absorb crap.
Oh, yeah, because half of them just stream shit off YouTube now. They're watching unboxings.
But like, I mean...
Would we have ever watched an unboxing when we were kids?
I don't mean that. I mean actual child entertainment. That's not streaming on YouTube stuff, like actual shows on like ABC and kids shows in the mornings and stuff like that.
You got to think of this, yeah?
Yeah.
Unboxings. Have you never watched an unboxing?
For what?
Yeah.
On YouTube, there are child influencers under the age of 5 that will get a present, like a toy, in a box, you know, like a new toy.
You know, like an unboxing? When you buy something and you unbox it for
children.
adults?
Children unboxing toys, and kids are watching it on YouTube. Can you imagine that?
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Dude, when we were kids, any media we absorbed was like either like movies, TV shows, animations, books, all that sort of shit.
There was a story to it.
There was an element of creativity and imagination.
It was artistic.
Whatever. Kids are literally watching kids unbox toys.
That's fucked. I didn't know.
Why? Look at this kid playing with this toy on the other side of the world.
Who's filming this?
Degenerate parents.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're monetizing their kids.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
they're becoming millionaires. These kids are becoming millionaires.
Wow. Well, no, the parents are.
The parents are, yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, can you imagine, would you ever let your child watch an unboxing of toys?
No, it's brain rot.
Look, are you kidding? It's insane. This is straight up marketing directly into your child's brain. No longer like watching the cereal commercials with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now you're literally watching a kid unbox a toy. And so the kid will run out and scream, I want this toy now as well. But kids are actually actively searching this shit to watch it as entertainment. We're no longer seeing what the kid next door has or watching the TV commercial. Now we're watching kids unbox shit, feeding directly into that algorithm, man.
Daddy, can I watch unboxing? You're going to watch Gargoyles, and you're going to like it.
Gargoyles.
You're going to watch Centurions, and you're going to like it.
You want nostalgic? You know what? I spent an hour and a half last night, well until like 1 o'clock in the morning, searching for.
There we go.
I went onto an emulator site.
No, he never got out. He's actually not here right now. This is an emulation. It's like Tron.
It came up in conversation at work because I'd tell them like some of the shows I used to watch. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, all right, I'm old, I get it. But then it was like talking about games. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
John's at work. What's that? You're fired.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, which version?
Oh, yeah.
But specific the edition with the little robot man that talks to you when you turn it on.
I don't remember it.
It was the CD-ROM deluxe edition.
Okay, do you know which one I remember? I remember the Macintosh version. The
I
black
don't know.
and white version that was on the old Macintosh. Remember the Macs that was square?
Yeah.
They're like rectangular.
I didn't realise there was so many of them made. There's like a good 12
There was
to 15 of them.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new one now. Netflix is producing, but...
There was a period where that was in serial, right?
TV show?
No. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That was a show.
No, I'm saying
5 seasons.
there was a CD version in the serials at one point, wasn't
I don't know. But
Don't know.
there's only like 2 world ones. A lot of them... I didn't know that there was like America. Where in America's Carmen Sandiego? Where in time is she? We're in this. So there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
We're in Europe. No, I don't think the Europe one. But there's a whole bunch of them. And I think this is the deluxe edition. They revamped it, which was the original one.
We're in Pornhub is Carmen Sandiego.
No joke.
Number one search.
An hour and a half going, like, load up. Nah, I don't remember this. Load up. Nah, I don't remember this. And then I finally found it, and I've got it saved, and I'm going to play it and kill it. I'd rather play that than AC Shadows. What does that tell you about the gaming industry?
Well, it's in a bad state.
You're talking to a guy that in this room, I've literally got a PS2, a PS3, Sega Mega Drive, and a Super Nintendo.
Pizza Tycoon as well. I gifted you that, didn't I?
No.
Okay, I'll gift it to you.
I've uninstalled Steam ages ago.
Oh, okay, stuff.
How dare you?
You make me sick.
Should be the only
What
platform
about
you
Crusader
have.
Kings 3?
The person that told me to download Steam and get all these games just never ended up being online to play. So.
I'm always online, but
He is online a lot. I have Steam open 24 hours a day, basically. He is on.
No,
sometimes.
because I bought how many games because of this idiot, and we never played any of them.
What were the
Crusader
two?
Kings 3 and the hunting game.
Crusader
Oh,
Kings
yeah,
2?
that's right.
I said 3, sorry. 3?
I downloaded that hunting game. You guys never played.
I downloaded a DLC I never even opened.
Yes, you did, because you got the dog.
No, the Aussie one.
What Aussie one?
Yeah, there was an Aussie like DLC. Where
I
you're
don't
playing
know
it,
that
you're hunting in
They
Australian.
introduced Smokos.
I've actually, look, I
Right,
We're going hunting? Yeah, just after this.
see you back of this shit, mate. Got me my galah. I'm getting out of here.
Thrilling gameplay. Take lighter.
drag.
Burning midnight oil.
The bears stay away because they can see the little red light.
Yeah, dude.
From the
There's actually like an American companion leading you around like a point man. It's in the middle of the night, you're waiting, and all of a sudden, right, Smoko. What? It's like, I'll be back. We're in the middle of this. Nah.
Got a picture tent.
Oh, fuck me. One thing I was going to ask you guys, I've brought this up before, shitty Google reviews. I was going to say, because I was looking at accommodation, right, for one of the trips, and I was looking at more shitty reviews, right, of like, I'm looking for a place to stay.
Where are you going again? Bali.
End of the year.
Yeah.
But I was just looking at them, and as someone who runs a business that lives and dies on reviews, surely there's got to be a better vetting process for these reviews.
No. Well, you think so, but no.
Because, the reason why I say it is because on Booking.com, I use a pseudonym, right? I don't have my real name on it. And I'd leave honest reviews, right? Every time. But you can have anything there. You know, like it doesn't matter.
I'm well aware of that.
But I look at these, and they honestly affect the score of the property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you'll see like 0.1. I'm like, why has it got 7.1? And there'll be like 2 negative reviews. Then you go in and read some of the complaints. I'm like, are these people for real? What kind of lives are these people leading?
I'm not sure, but I think there's like, as the owner of the website, like the venue, you can kind of address reviews.
You can address it, but it doesn't alter the score.
No. And that's
So
why, because same thing for where, like...
It's bad too, because I look into the profile of the person leaving the review.
Same,
You just look at the name, you look at where they're from, and I'm like, you fucking idiot, right? So like, so I'm
usually
looking
the number of reviews is a dead giveaway, like at face value.
Yeah.
number of views, and you're like, oh, good.
So I'm looking at these things, right? And I'm looking at villas. Put this into perspective. It's a villa in Ubud in Bali, so it's like rice fields, isolated. You know what I mean? Like, because I've done Seminyak. I want to get away from that. I want to see something different, a bit more low key.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm literally going for R&R. Like, that's all I want. I just want to sit in a pool once a day, go to the shops, get food, have a cheap massage, come back, right? Mm-hmm. Listen to these summer complaints. You're a fucking idiot. You just described your time off.
I'm not disagreeing with it.
He's just doing a buy a pool.
All right. So, buy a pool.
Always wanted poolside?
Yeah. Is that high fencing? No. I need open view.
It's glass.
It's not frosted.
Somewhere with a gate that doesn't lock. All right. So, hey, you built this monster, man. So I'm listen to these summer complaints, right? So here's one review, right? 8.0. Breakfast is good and driver that they provide for the day trip is really nice. Mm-hmm. The sad face. Not all, but some receptionists are not good in terms of listening our views. Our views? Like,
what's the name on this?
What, on the person?
Yeah.
I think they were writing Omar, but they spelled it wrong.
Okay, well, that's enough. That's all I need to know.
Okay, so here's another one. 8.0, very calm place. Smiley face, had spa inside. Sad face, a little bit dark in the room.
Oh, my God.
All right. Here's another one. Fabulous, says the review, 9.0. Everything was good. Kettle, fridge, AC, nice bed. Good view of people working in fields.
Oh, I like this.
Sad
Is that breakfast?
Sad face. Stones on bathroom floor. Impossible to walk barefoot and hard to keep clean, I suppose. He's just confused.
I don't know.
All right, here's another one, right? Dude, I was getting angry. Like, I don't know these people.
Can I give you one of my reviews to read after?
Hang on. Okay. Friendly staycation in Ubud, far from the noise, right? 9.0. Smiley face. The views to garden and rice fields are gorgeous. Sad face. It depends how the wind blow. You can smell the odor of livestock from the near barn, but you will be paid with the friendly services of the staff and the views.
So it smells like shit.
Hang on, here's another one, right? Good place for its price. Love the staff and the area. Very calm and beautiful. Sad face. Spa have good massage, but you can't relax fully because of mosquitoes. Floor in bathroom is very uncomfortable.
No, they're just with thongs.
Wait. Floor in bathroom is... What are they doing, sleeping?
That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, how much time are
How
you
does that make
spending?
sense?
How much time are you spending in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Where your feet hurt, man.
I know.
All right, hang on. This one killed me, right? This is Sarah from the United Kingdom. 8.0. High standards with great service. 8.0, right? Love the atmosphere in the pools and gardens. Colours were gorgeous and the gardens are really well looked after. It has a luxury and cozy feel despite perhaps a few things needing replacing or repairing. There was a power cut one day and the water went off, but there's still water to flush a toilet. So I was appreciative that staff were lovely and helpful. That had no punctuation, by the way. I literally read it as it's written. Yeah. Always providing great service, easy to get into Ubud from, and lovely rice terraces all around. Sad face. A few things could have been cleaner, like besides and behind the fridge.
Who's looking behind the fridge? What is she doing?
Dude, behind the fridge.
What?
Yeah. What sick son of a bitch goes on holidays and yanks the minibar out to look at how clean it is behind?
God forbid you go back to her place in the UK and see what her room
And that's
looks
what
like.
I said. I was when I was reading it, I'm like, I'd love to see these people's houses.
They realise they're going to a third world country, yeah?
Yeah. And there's another one. Kelly
No,
from
no.
7.0.
Must be the same as everywhere I've experienced.
Dude, love the view over the rice fields.
You could go to the Hilton and it wouldn't be clean behind a
no.
fridge. No one's cleaning behind a fridge.
I went to a 5-star resort in Fiji. Do you think that was 100% clean? Found a cockroach the first night under my bed.
All right, but it's a fucking tropical island.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cockroaches exist.
Yeah.
All right, so love the view from the rice fields from the front porch. Bed was comfortable, staff were lovely. Apart from the things I didn't like below, I would absolutely stay here again. Yada, yada, yada. Sad face. Bring mosquito body spray and insect room spray. You are rice fields after all. The pillows were all high, solid and thick. Needs to be thin pillows for different sleeping styles. Had to walk down steps to get into the bathroom and use toilet. No handrail for us who are a little older. Was next to kitchen, so was woken by talking early when I really wanted to sleep in. Male cats were fighting on my roof.
How do they specifically know they're male cats?
Because it's male cats that fight.
There was another one I remember reading. I didn't screenshot it, but it was like hard to keep lizards out of property. I'm like, you're in the fucking rice fields, man. You're in open air rice fields in fucking Bali, like on a tropical island next to the equator. How do these people live and breathe? Seriously.
It's interesting.
People that need to be shot, yeah? Anyone that leaves a fucking ridiculous review like that on bookings.com, they should be flagged automatically.
Yeah.
Legitimate grievance, I understand.
No fly list.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't know. It's just, it vexed me.
Just because you can get a passport doesn't mean you should.
Nevertheless, what are you looking for?
Trying to look for a review that I've written that you can compare to.
I got 4 tomahawk steaks, got charged full price, even though things got sent back multiple times.
Actually,
and then they expected a tip.
That reminds me, I've got to leave a bad review. I keep forgetting to do it.
The one for that night.
Which night?
The one when they told you to go have a drink and then they charge you for it.
No. I never did that one. I should have. Mm-hmm. It's probably too late now. But, no, there's another one from camping a couple of weeks ago.
How do you review a camping place?
The camping place isn't what I'm going to review. I'm going to review the place we had breakfast at.
Oh.
So there's a few of us, right? We sit down at this breakfast joint, and they're advertising like waffles, pancakes, all that sort of shit. It was busy, but it wasn't like chaos busting at the seams. We got a table right away, right? There's 4 of us at that point. We've sat down. We've ordered like 2 burgers effectively, like 2 breakfast burgers and 2 plates of pancakes, right?
Yep.
Waiting. Drinks come out at like the 20, 30-minute mark, right? We were all talking. So like,
was it busy?
No, like it was busy, but it wasn't packed where like it looked like they were dying. We got a table straight away, and tables were emptying, tables were filling. Yeah. So we waited like half an hour for the drinks. They come out. It got to like the 40-minute mark or something, and we're talking about pancakes and like burgers, like a sandwich, like a steak sandwich and like a breakfast burger. And the tables around us are literally refilling and filling, like they're getting their meals ahead of us.
How long's your tickets?
Yeah, and at the 40-odd mark, 45, I remember going up to someone and saying, "Hey, man, like, just wondering, like, where are our meals? Like, we're just noticing. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll be right. I'll go check it out." And they've come out like 5 minutes later. It's like, oh, they're on their way. It was another like 10 minutes after that. My pancakes came out and they were like dry because they've been flashed like cooked.
Yeah.
But it's still like soft like on the inside. Like, it was just no flavor to it. It wasn't done. They weren't brown, like pancake brown. They were pale. And I was like, the meat's come out on the burger or the steak and it was just like raw basically and burnt. And I was just looking at it. I'm like, it wasn't cheap either. And I was just like, people have like, if you lost the meal, if you lost the order, just say you lost the order. I don't care. Like, I mean, it's annoying, but at least I'll understand if it's going to take another 15 minutes. But to say, oh yeah, it's coming now, when I've watched tables empty and refill and empty behind me and get drinks as well. You know what I mean? And I left it. I'm like, and I just put it in the back of my mind. I said, I've got to leave a review. Speaking of which, there was a kid there wearing a MAGA hat.
Interesting.
A MAGA hat.
Where?
We're in Phillip Island.
Oh.
Have you seen a MAGA hat out in public? Like,
not in
Here?
Australia.
No.
Maybe he's American.
Nah. No, he looked as bogan as shit. It was a young kid. It was probably under 18.
It wasn't just a red hat.
No, it was a Marga hat.
It said
because I
Marga.
walked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Have a crack at that. Keep in mind, this was close to 7 years ago I wrote this.
Having the freedom! I was going to say, should I read it in your cadence as well?
You can do whatever you like.
I'd like to hear the attempt.
Maybe it'd be more like Larry David
I wrote
or George
this
Costanza.
in the shop, by the way.
After... Okay, should I name the shop?
You can if you want. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they closed.
This is 6 years ago. You went back 6 years?
Yes, just an example.
Okay. It's the one time he's gone out in the last 6 years.
That's the most recent one.
All right. Okay, so after reading some of the joke reviews, I thought I would take a crack as it's probably the only burger joint around the area I haven't tried.
I had a couple of drinks, so I didn't go back and
Okay, we got the truffle burger, pork fries, and smoked wings. Expecting to get food poisoned as another reviewing had a go at, I was impressed by how juicy and flavorful this burger is. I mean, enoki fries. Okay, the punctuation's a bit all over the joint. I know, so I'm trying to figure out what you've
several drinks in.
Inebriated.
You, sir, are a genius. The only way it would have been better is if it had actual slices of truffle in it, which I would have draped over my body. They even cut it in half for me and my partner because I'm meant to be in a diet, brackets, ha 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 ha. The pork fries, what a time to be alive. No idea what no idea what part of a pig I ate, but it was delicious and
They're not
crispy.
pork fries, only just cooked in pork.
I don't remember.
But it was delicious and crispy, so who cares? Okay, here we go. The wings. Now, when I see smoked, I assume it has liquid smoke and see you later. But the depth of smoky flavour was really extraordinary and delicious. As someone who smokes his own meats and plays around a lot...
Not related to the first part.
I can only but recommend this joint for its really incredible flavours. Hang on, wait. I'm not an expert or claim to be a self-proclaimed genius in food, but if you are chasing a burger that is overcooked, then steer clear. Go home, turn on your range hood to full blast, open all your windows, turn the stove on full, and butcher the most beautiful animal on this planet with an overdone, dry, and burnt burger.
The reason I wrote that is because the owner was telling me on that day that someone left a review saying that their burger came out medium. That's how they cooked all their burgers, medium.
Yeah.
And they said it was raw, and they refused to pay for the burger.
Well, in brackets, you've written, it's a cow in case you're wondering. If, however, you are expecting to pay pretty damn fair price for a delicious treat, you are at the right place. I look forward to my next visit and only hope I see you on my Uber Eats one day.
Yeah, he didn't like that part from memory. He was like, don't encourage Uber Eats.
I'll read
How do you find your reviews?
Yeah, it took me a while. It took me a while to find it, man.
Saved?
I had to go into my Google Maps, and then from Google Maps...
Hang on. I'll find you a review that I did. Hang on. This was about a year ago. I was at a bottle shop up in Sunshine, and I know the owners, yeah? Like, I get on them. I haven't fucking seen them for a while, actually. But, yeah, they had a promo going where if you left them a review, you got like a free 6-pack or a 4-pack of some booze or something. So I said, all right, I'll leave you a review. This is a bottle-o, right? And I left it as Duke Leverage. Intoxicating fragrances fill the establishment, particularly present on weekends when a full moon is in equinox. The period piece furnishings are warm, aesthetically exhilarating, and extremely comforting to a worn and beaten soul. The staff and patrons alike are open-minded and quick to wit and charm. All in all, Boozum is a place for the weary, the neglected, the effervescent, the noble, and the distinguished alike. Top shelf.
Top shit.
I got a 6-pack for that.
Oh, nice.
Damn!
Nice.
Mate, I came up with that in the store. Oh, fucking hell. Hang on, people are asking me, are you at the office today? No.
No.
Here's an example of a bad one. That's pretty short.
A bad review that you've left?
That's a bad one.
Oh, here we go. Ordered. Should I name and shame the place?
Yeah, I don't care. You can if you want.
When was this? 3 years ago. Sip and Bite Kebabs, Ormond. Where in Ormond is it?
It's literally on North Road. Like, you know where the Red Rooster is? Near McKinnon?
Yeah.
Yeah, just around the corner from there. There's like the bottle shop.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Ordered a mixed kebab. I was eating it and halfway found something chewy in my kebab. I pulled out a long piece of raw chicken. I'm not perfect, but I would never recklessly poison someone. Really disappointed and feel sick by this experience.
I ate raw chicken. And I have a picture of it too.
Oh, fantastic. Do you leave reviews?
I left one, not really, but I went and visited a hobby shop last month.
AKA a rub and tug.
Hobby.
So how do you do it? You go to
Go to the business
your
and just-
profile.
No, go to the business
Here we go,
itself.
found
Just
it.
go to... Okay.
So it's just a shop that's opened up. Basically, it's in Pakenham. I had gone there.
You went to Pakenham?
Oh yeah,
Why?
it was a 20-minute drive.
Pakenham?
Yeah.
All right, sure.
When it's hobby stuff, I like to drive there and get it because I don't like to risk anything in damaging.
You don't need
transit.
anyone recognising you.
And basically, the old owner passed away, and so I think the son took it over, and his wife is kind of helping run it. And I was just really impressed with like the service. Like she was really chatty. She was really like, "What do you need?" It wasn't a particularly large store,
Yeah.
but they're trying to rebuild and expand on what it originally it was something else entirely, and then just before the owner died, they decided to convert it into a hobby store, and it was just essentially just straightforward, no puns or anything, but it was just like staff are very helpful and keen to fulfill what you need. Great varied selection of minis and model kits as well as hobbying needs. Definitely going back. And that was it.
Andy's on the double.
And other than that, I left
The bald eagle.
I left a 5-star review for a cafe 6 years ago. Other than that, that's it, those two.
Good stuff.
You're
I'm
a great
starting it.
asset to the community.
I'm starting some reviews.
Yeah, it's good. Look, the thing is, businesses rely on them.
Yeah, I'm going to do a lot more.
And if you have a good experience,
Yeah.
it's hard to just, oh, that was great, and move on. You shouldn't, because like even with him,
Yeah.
people need it. That one bad review, you need like 10 or 20 to negate that. It's shit.
Yeah.
And there's retarded people out
Well, you look at these reviews that are like genuine, like negative, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, what you found? Like, serious? You found a dead cockroach like in your bathroom in the middle of Thailand?
Yeah.
Like, have you been outside, man?
Have you been to the market? There's plenty of them. For sale. On a stick.
Yeah.
Want to simply escape the kitchen, all right?
You should be thankful
Yeah.
for the snack.
Fucking
bum.
I mean, you got to look at where you're eating too, yeah? Like, if it's fine dining and you got cockroaches, like, that's something, obviously. If you go into, like, a, Southeast Asia country and you got cockroaches, like, well, that's kind of expected.
Yeah. You get into your room, there's like a fantastic little spread, like a golden chalice, and there's just a monkey brain in there. You're like, hang on a second. What is this?
I'm picturing Temple of Doom from that eating scene.
Yeah.
They're cutting a snake open. There
this is a delicacy.
monkey brain. I love how we all saw that and we assumed that's how they actually ate, like in India. Was it India? It was Calcutta, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it was like I can't remember. It was a special city, wasn't it?
No, Pankot Palace. You remember it? It was Pankot Palace, man. I swear to Christ. And let me ask you, out of all of them, which one did you know the best out of all the Indiana Joneses?
2 and 3.
2 and 3? The Crusade.
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark's the first one. The Last Crusade. The Crusade is with the
Temple of Doom and
Temple of Doom is 2. That's
and
the one I
third
had
one
the Macca's
is
tape off.
The Last Crusade, isn't it?
The Last Crusade is the last one.
Yeah.
That's with the Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Which one did you know best?
Second.
Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Why is it that we all knew Temple of Doom the best?
It's always 2.
I feel like I grew up more on, not that I grew up on 2, but I think that was the one that kind of, I don't know, actually.
2.
I never really liked 1.
I had the Macca's tape of 2. That's why I know I've watched it 1,000 times. 1 I'd only watched a handful of times. I don't think I've ever watched 3, ever. Is it worth watching?
Yeah, 3's fantastic.
I don't remember 3.
He chose poorly. Yeah. There's a whole point.
Have you played the new game yet?
Nah, I'm gonna play
Okay.
that crap.
I heard it's good.
What game?
According to who?
Everyone.
What game?
They're
Everyone
all
said it was
fools, Andy.
What game?
Indiana Jones.
They made a game?
Yeah. And everyone said it's like fantastic.
I've heard the graphics.
Yeah, but
are
isn't
better.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones just like Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
No,
Tomb Raider is like Indiana
this
Jones.
is first. This is first person. Like you are.
What are you doing
First person.
with the hands?
I saw some combat. I wasn't particularly impressed.
So people have commented that the combat on streams and stuff looks bad, but when you play it, there's a lot of weight and heftiness to it. It feels really good, but it doesn't look good. It just feels good.
It just sounds like it's crap.
Story wise, apparently it's really good. There's a lot of throwbacks to the movies. That's little tongue in
What's it
cheek
about?
stuff. I have no idea.
Indiana
Nazis?
Jones. And Nazis.
I've just heard it's fantastic. I'm actually keen to
Yeah,
try.
but the throwbacks are the last one the movie made was the woke madness with his niece
no,
or
not
goddaughter.
throwbacks to that. Throwbacks
It's
to 1,
called
2, 3.
capitalism.
It's throwbacks to 1, 2, 3.
Capitalism.
Yeah, I love how they picked 1, 2, 3.
Like I think
This
that
trash capitalism.
they do the opening copycat from
The first one.
the first one. Yeah,
Raiders,
the game
yeah.
opens with the Raiders
The
opening.
stone and you're running from it.
How he's rubbing his mouth and
Yeah.
like, it
Yeah,
takes
the whole
100
opening,
years. Remember the Family Guy one?
Yeah.
Just take it! Nevertheless, I don't know about you guys. Was there anything else? Because it's already fucking 6:30.
I suppose we already did a hypothetical
What hypothetical?
where you would insert yourself.
No, that was my...
Well, we didn't hypothetical that. Do we want a hypothetical that?
I can't think
Where
of
would you
anything
insert
You got a
yourself?
hypothetical.
Huh?
Did you have a hypothetical?
Where would you insert yourself?
Yeah. No, any hypothetical. You said we didn't do a hypothetical. Or any of John's spurious facts.
No, he's saying we did, and I'm saying we didn't do that hypothetical specifically.
But it was like where would you insert yourself in any type of medium?
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah, right.
Why me?
I'd insert myself as Yasuke in
He's a hypothetical. Not a hypothetical. He's just a question.
Yeah.
Where's the weirdest place you've inserted yourself?
Talking about?
Yeah.
into this conversation.
Into your life.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do
You fucked me.
Why do I continue to seek your guidance? Or what's a good request your
I'll
company?
tell you what. Afterwards, I'll leave you a good review.
Me? Anyway, what was I going to say? You're leaving to go to...
Sunshine lollipops in
Rainbows, everything.
Surfers Paradise, smack bang in the middle of the cyclone where we.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, why?
I don't know. We already booked it.
The building's no longer there.
Yeah, it's like
Wait,
gone.
you're leaving Wednesday
Yeah, Wednesday, 7 in the morning
for a week?
till the following Tuesday.
And then you go straight to Rosebud.
Oh yes,
How long do you have off?
2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So that means, wait, you come back Tuesday, and then how long are you going to Rosebud?
Till probably Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, so yeah, I went, because I leave on that Thursday night. Yeah.
I'll be in my apartment
Yeah.
the whole time.
Oh, yeah, have you moved? Completely.
Actually, I've got to go past there now just
Why
to pick
you
up
back
the
at-
keys. Oh, it's horrible. I hate moving.
What do you mean? But you're so regimented about it. You said it got easier and easier.
Up until my dad's retired and my uncle's retired and everyone around them has retired and they all wanted to move.
I'll help you.
Yes. So I'll pay Raj and Rajid, $500. And they're like, no, you're not going to waste money. Let's get the old truck. And
Are you serious?
yeah.
Your old man's in his 70s.
Yeah. Like the truck driver, he's 78 and he was still like solo lifting the couch and stuff. And I said to him, I'll probably just see you next year at this rate. He's like, I don't know.
I said this to someone the other day because they're about to expand a business or open a new business or something, and they said, I've got a lot of people that are willing to help. I go, no. You find people to employ as employees. You're not getting friends or family members that are offering their help, because eventually they offer to help once, twice, maybe 3 times, and then it becomes, well, this is partly my business, clearly, because I helped establish it.
They insert themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right, dude. The movers, when I moved the last time, it was probably the first time I actually coordinated a moving effort. And I had, like you said, Rajnish and Sinbad, literally moving my shit. No, it is what it is. But why wouldn't I just pay them $400 or whatever it is they're asking? because I know it's going to be heavy lifting involved.
Yep.
And they're going to get it done. There's
Yep.
no complaints. There's no, got to go for a smoke. Maybe tomorrow. Look, what do you mean tomorrow? The cleaner's coming tomorrow.
Yep.
There's no time
Yeah.
for tomorrow.
Well, see, and this is what happened to me is like I felt bad too because they're old, and so I only took the big items, the desks, the couch,
Yeah.
TV, and stuff, and then everything else I did car loads up and down.
Why didn't you call me?
Why? I'm not going to bother you.
Well, yeah, you helped me move to South Bank.
That's all right.
Yeah, why didn't you call him?
Yeah, that time, John's the guy that's sitting on the couch at my back.
My back!
Can anyone give me a hand?
Larry David.
I'm in
Larry
right at the
David.
moment.
I just actually respond with tumbleweeds.
No, you should have called.
No, it's fine. I mean, I was just doing a load now and then, every
Yeah,
time
okay.
I passed it, whatever. So I've been doing a load since the start of the month.
How long did you have between the places?
But I still haven't handed the keys in.
Oh, when did
I
you
got
have the
I
keys
got
in?
it cleaned today.
Oh.
So after this, I'll go pick up the keys they left on the table, and then I'll probably drop off the keys tomorrow.
Oh, that's okay. So you're out, like as in you're completely
It'll
in?
be done, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I paid until the 27th, unfortunately. And they didn't want us to go earlier. They didn't want to break the contract.
Yeah, okay.
So I just took my time.
You liking your place?
Yeah, it's an apartment.
Yeah, I know, but considering the complaints you had about the old joint,
Oh, yeah. No, it's perfect. It's fine.
I was going to say, you're not far from me now. Would I figure it out, like 10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll go to Balaclava or something and have lunch.
Yeah, let me know.
Hold up.